is. It's Friday. Good morning. Welcome to it. 8 o'clock. I'm Jen Lammers.
8 o'clock on the dot. Thanks for sticking with us. I'm Bobby Castro. Here's a look at some of the stories we'll be covering this morning. We're talking about this heat wave. It's already breaking some records. It could get even hotter today. Marie will be here with a look ahead of this weekend.
And developing news in the war with Iran. 4 crew members on board a military plane that crashed in Iraq are confirmed dead. We'll have reaction from the Pentagon this morning.
Also, after more than a year closed because of the Palisades fire, Duke's is finally reopening today. Coco is live there with a first look at the newly renovated space. First, as promised, let's go to Maria.
You know, Duke's is not a bad place to be today as we look at some really hot temperatures. But yeah, right there on the sand with your feet in the water, that'd be a good idea. However, temperatures even at the coast will be well above normal. Right now, we're looking at our satellite and radar pictures, and you can see that there's not much in the way of cloud cover, not that marine layer, which does help to keep us nice and comfortable and cool. It is still officially winter on the calendar, but doesn't feel like it at all. Right now, it's already in the 70s in parts of the valley, like Woodland Hills. It's 72. Upper 60s in Santa Monica, downtown LA, 62 in Burbank. Big Bear, it's still pretty cold, 27, 65 in Palm Springs. And if you really do want those cooler temperatures, I do think the mountains, especially up near Big Bear Lake or Lake Arrowhead, Lake Gregory, those areas will get some of those more comfortable conditions. Otherwise, mid-80s in the high desert, upper 90s for the Coachella Valley there in the low desert areas. Downtown LA, 91. That is well above the average of 70 for this time of year. Mid-90s for the valleys and the Inland Empire, to nearly 80 at the coast. We'll talk about those record high temperatures we got yesterday and some of the heat alerts in just a few moments. But first, let's check in with Stu. He is flying up in Skyfox, watching. Stu, you surprised me. What is happening here?
Hey, Maria, you know what? I'm sorry. We always get you off guard, but we're watching. This is going to be another Falcon rocket. Just left. It's heading out towards space as well. 25 more Starlink satellites going to be up there today. This is mission 1731 on the 13th of Friday. There we go. It's gone, but you know what's still here, and it'll always be around for us, is traffic. Let's get to the Encino area, Tarzana, Encino, the 101. Moving along pretty well down there. Take a look at that. This is definitely going to be Friday light. These guys, probably not worried about those Starlinks now, but maybe. So I don't always guarantee you a lot of these folks will be using those satellites before they know it. But the ride right now, fantastic. Out of Calabasas over to the 405. Either way you play it, north or southbound on the 101, definitely going to fall under Friday light. No crashes, moving along well. Sending it back to y'all in the studio.
All right, Stu, thank you. So yes, as Maria was saying, it's going to be unseasonably hot out there today.
Yeah, today and then for several days. Let's get out to Mario in Pasadena. He's at the Rose Bowl, checking out some the situation there. People getting their workout in before it gets super hot, Mario.
You got the fan going?
Yeah, it is time for the fans because it's warming up. The sun is really shining right now. Photographer Howard Wells, if you could give him a shot here because it is out in full force. We don't have very many clouds, so that means it's going to be even hotter, as Maria and Sumata have been talking about. And we just had a guy here working out, but there's people all over here walking, getting that early morning walk in or that jog in before it really starts to heat up. So take a look. These temperatures we're talking about, possibly record-breaking today. California, Southern California, in the middle of a rare March heat wave, and today's expected to be one of the hottest days in this first round. The National Weather Service issuing a heat advisory for much of LA County. That includes Pasadena, downtown LA, San Fernando, and the San Gabriel valleys and coastal areas as well. Meanwhile, people, they've been really feeling it as we've been talking to them out here in Pasadena.
It's going to be wicked hot later, so got to come in, get it done early before the heat sets in. Just beat the sun. I always like getting the sunrise too. That's a added benefit.
Well, it's too hot. I don't like the hot weather. I mean, it still is okay, but I don't want it any hotter. I don't like it.
Ooh, just have to get out here a little bit earlier. After that, I go home and I'm just going to be in a nice air-conditioned house.
All right, so as we are bracing for another day of dangerous heat, health officials say it's really important to know the difference between heat exhaustion and heat stroke. So let's show you some examples of what people could be feeling. Heat exhaustion can cause dizziness, heavy sweating, pale or clammy skin, muscle cramps, and a rapid but weak pulse. And heat stroke, more dangerous and may cause throbbing headache, red hot dry skin, and loss of consciousness. Officials say move someone with heat exhaustion to a cool place, give them water if they're alert, and if you suspect heat stroke, call 911 immediately. So back out here live, some people taking it easy because, again, it is starting to heat up here with the sun out. The temperature here in Pasadena, we're expecting a high of around 94 degrees, and that could break a record for March 13th. For now, that's the latest here in Pasadena. I'm Mario Ramirez. We'll send it back to you.
All right, Mario. Yeah. Keep that fan on standby. Thank you.
Stay cool. Let's get to the latest headlines from the war with Iran.
Yeah, Roxia has new details and an update now from day 14 of Operation Epic Fury. Roxia.
Yes, sadly, we begin with a tragedy that killed now 6 American service members. It happened when a refueling aircraft crashed in Iraq. That is the latest update there. The Pentagon saying the crash involving another aircraft, but was not the result of hostile or friendly fire. This brings the total number of American deaths in the war to 13. Meanwhile, the United States and Israel continue to increase attacks on Iran. During a Pentagon briefing this morning, Hexat said today that the U.S. will drop the highest number of strikes on Iran to date. Hexat also shared that Iran's air defense, Navy, and missile capabilities have been completely wiped out.
Even more importantly, they also don't have the ability to build more. That's the most important component I'd like to emphasize today. Soon and very soon, all of Iran's defense companies will be destroyed. For example, as of 2 days ago, Iran's entire ballistic missile production capacity, every company that builds every component of those missiles, has been functionally defeated, destroyed. Buildings, complexes, and factory lines all across Iran destroyed.
Meanwhile, the U.S. has temporarily lifted sanctions on Russian oil that is currently at sea, allowing it to be shipped to buyers around the world. The Trump administration is scrambling to contain energy prices that have been soaring because of the war in Iran. Obviously, gas prices is a big concern. Things are constantly changing. It looks like it's nearly $5.50 a gallon here in California. Obviously, it depends where you go and where you are in the state, but $5.50 a gallon is tough.
That's for sure. Roxy, thank you. Developing this morning, 1 person is dead and 2 others injured after a shooting at Old Dominion University in Virginia. Authorities identifying the suspect as Mohammed Jalloh. They say he opened fire inside of a classroom at the university before being subdued and killed by ROTC students. 1 instructor was killed and 2 students were injured. The FBI confirming Jalloh was a former National Guardsman previously convicted of supporting ISIS and had just been released from prison only months ago.
Authorities have identified the suspect in yesterday's terror attack at a Michigan synagogue. Investigators say it happened at Temple Israel in West Bloomfield Township. Law enforcement sources identifying the man as a Lebanese national who entered the U.S. in 2011 and was later naturalized as a U.S. citizen in 2016. He drove straight through the doors and down a hallway before being engaged by armed security. The temple is home to a preschool with 105 young children who were thankfully safe after that attack. Michigan State Police are increasing patrols at houses of worship statewide. Synagogues nationwide have been on alert since the start of the U.S. war with Iran.
8:08 this morning, Mayor Karen Bass and roughly 24 other civic leaders will gather this morning to talk about how the Trump administration's immigration crackdown impacted their communities.
Gigi Graciette live in downtown with this story. Gigi.
That's right. A press conference set to start in half an hour, followed by a town hall meeting. And take a look at some file footage we have of the immigration enforcement actions that will be discussed today. 20 regional mayors, immigrant advocates, faith leaders, and residents will be holding that press conference and town hall, focusing, they say, on the impacts of federal immigration enforcement activities in communities across Los Angeles. During the town hall, people who say they've been personally impacted by immigration enforcement will be sharing their testimonials. Bringing it back here live again, that press conference set to start in half an hour. Reporting live, I'm Gigi Graciette. I'll send it back to you.
All right, Gigi, thank you. Coming up, new questions about the response to the Eaton fire in Altadena, what we're learning this morning.
And tomorrow is Pi Day. Not the food, the number. Coming up, a couple of math whizzes are going to be here to test us on our numbers knowledge.
Do we need to be tested?
These are school-aged children who are going to wax us.
I'm going to give it to them.
I haven't used math. I mean, listen, stay in school. First of all, let's go to Stu, though, with a check on the morning commute.
Hey, we'll do the math on this one, but pi, I'm always down for pi and not the mathematic one. I'm talking about the actual pi. Oh, Skybox traffic brought to us by My Home Sold. Getting a quick look at that 405 drive. I wanted to tell everybody, Friday light, take a little extra time, watch some more news. No, it is very slow and go on that 405 freeway. What we're showing you right there, I even thought there might have been an accident. It is just high volume coming away from the 118 southbound on that 405, and of course it's going to stay like that all the way through that Sepulveda Pass. By the time you get to Sunset, though, it does open up northbound. If that's your ride this morning, of course, you got that one made. Let's take a look at some traffic hotspots.
Hello, I'm Adrian Hernandez with MyHomeSold.com, and we want to buy your house cash. We'll give you a cash offer for your house today. Sell your house the easy way with no commissions, no fees, no repairs. For free, no obligation cash offer. Go to MyHomeSold.com.
A look at some of our top stories this morning. Arraignment is today for LA City Councilman Curran Price. Prosecutors say Price voted on projects where his wife was subcontracted by a developer or directly contracted by the city. Her company allegedly received payments totaling more than $950,000. Price's attorney says there's no evidence that Price knew of these conflicts and claimed payments to his wife had no influence on Price's voting decisions. A 25-year-old Costa Mesa man has died a month after being bitten by a rattlesnake. Julian Hernandez was bitten February 1st while hiking near Quail Hill. This is in Irvine. He passed away on March the 4th. His family seeking answers with an independent autopsy. Experts remind hikers to stay alert as warmer weather brings out more snakes. Happening today, jury deliberations begin in the social media addiction trial underway in downtown LA. It's a case accusing Meta and YouTube of harming a teenage user. The lawsuit also accuses tech companies of intentionally designing their platforms to be addictive for kids and claims that platforms were negligent and failed to warn about potential dangers for minors. Civil rights activists are putting a state investigation into the Eaton fire under a microscope.
What really happened? Why those in West Altadena did not get notified about the evacuation to 3:25 a.m. and others got notified so much earlier.
California's Attorney General is investigating if there was any racial or discriminatory actions related to Eaton fire evacuation orders. Specifically, state investigators and civil rights attorneys want to know why did Eastside Altadena get evacuation orders much earlier than the West Side, where 18 people died.
If the facts show that decisions were made based on the racial composition of the community, we will seek accountability.
LA County officials say they are cooperating with the state investigation. They do not believe discrimination played a role, they say. The probe is expected to be completed by the fall. The U.S. Postal Service is rolling out their latest series of stamps today. The new stamps feature lowrider cars with their dazzling pink colors and glistening chrome. The lowrider has become a part of mainstream car culture, especially in L.A. The cars are symbols of pride and creativity. A man from Monrovia helped design the stamps.
And it was a big project and a big fun project. It's groundbreaking for the community of lowriders. It's auto beauty. It's art on wheels. And people that own lowriders, they're not bad.
The stamps are 78 cents a piece and will be sold in sheets of $15 to $11.70.
Wow, that is cool.
Yeah, you know, they're rolling out a lot of new stamps. I don't know if it's more than before.
I think it
seems
is.
Like it's interesting because the other day I went to the post office and I was looking for the Bruce Lee stamp. Sold out.
Really?
Sold out.
Oh, I needed some new ones. I was going to go get the Bruce Lee ones. I think they're trying to get people to actually write letters again and use those stamps, you know, because so many people don't.
Yeah.
You know that, Bobby.
I know.
When we get an actual piece of mail from somebody, I'm like, oh, right? You're just like, oh, let me sit down and have
or
my
a card.
Yeah,
right?
a card. It's a rare thing. This is what I try to teach my young son, that it makes such a huge difference when you take the time to write a card. People will remember that. So it's a good thing to still do. Okay, let's talk about the weather because it is top of mind, right? Yesterday we had some record high temperatures. Santa Ana 97 degrees, Oxnard 94, all record highs. Camarillo same. Long Beach's 92 was a tie for the previous record, and Huntington Beach, not a record, but it was warm, 85 degrees. And we're looking at similar conditions as high pressure continues to really be the dominant feature in our weather. That offshore flow giving us some winds, but the winds will not be the story. No wind advisories in effect. Just heat alerts will stay in effect. And we're talking about temperatures that are going to be 20, 30 degrees above the average. So that's why the heat alerts are in place to remind you to take the necessary precautions. Please do not suffer from heat stress. That is very likely as we get into even next week. The hottest March temperatures ever could be seen and felt as we get into midweek next week. So we really are talking about some very hot conditions, and that is why we have the widespread heat advisories for the potential for heat-related illnesses. Looking at Woodland Hills, so we talked about next week. So today, 94. We'll bring those temperatures down slightly, I think, tomorrow, but look at how it climbs right back up Sunday into next week. Even hotter next week, 99, possibly triple digits for the middle part of next week. Pico Rivera, similar conditions, 93. Maybe some high clouds tomorrow that'll filter out the sunshine a little bit, a tiny sea breeze, but look at this, 95 as we get into next week. And then Big Bear, here's your day planner. I think the lake up in Big Bear will be the best, most comfortable spot, other than in the water there at the coast. 66 degrees there later this afternoon. All right, let's check in on traffic. Samada's back in studio with a look at our freeways. It's a hot one out there, Samada.
Oh, yes, and it's only going to get hotter, as we both know. And wanted to caution everyone, if you are out and about and hit the roadways, make sure your vehicle does have a fully functioning air conditioning unit, so that way you can drive cool. And here you go. We do have this collision northbound side, the 605 right there, the 60 through the City of Industry. We are picking up delays there due to that two-vehicle crash. It is taking away the fast lane, so just a heads up, we got tow trucks en route to that area. A real-time traffic look to help break down for you on this Friday. Give yourself 42 minutes if you want to leave downtown, headed to Santa Monica. Great time to hit the beach. Northbound 110 405, heading inbound to downtown, just 25 minutes. So mostly Friday light. Here's a live Caltrans camera. The 405, the 73 looking great across Costa Mesa. Stick around and we'll have more for you when we come back.
All right, live shot Shot. I said shot. I said shot, people.
You got close to it. You got close that time.
Like, I've been on air since 4 o'clock this morning.
Yeah, you have.
Kind of like my words are kind of like just flowing into
yeah, it's word salad.
Word salad, right?
The ocean, I'll tell you, the beach is where you want to be today.
It is.
Although, you know the technique, if the sand gets too hot?
What is it?
You got to dig your toes underneath the sand.
Really?
Yeah.
What if you're just walking across the sand? You're just like, it's like a,
I mean, you have either two choices. You can either walk very quickly and hope your feet don't get burned, or you can dig your toes in the sand where the cooler sand is. The shuffle?
Shuffle, do the shuffle.
I do.
Yeah.
Not know if that's really a method.
Why do you always have to be a contrarian?
Happening today, All People's Community Center is hosting its second annual Family Movie Night in South LA. Families can enjoy a double feature of Zootopia 2 at 6 p.m. and Wicked at 8. The event includes raffles, giveaways, and $1 popcorn. Over 200 people expected, and free blankets will be handed out. This is a fun, affordable way for families to bond. You can register at on the website on your screen.
Okay, so a brand new Disney cruise ship is already making waves in the travel world. The Disney Destiny has been named to Time Magazine's 2026 World's Greatest Places list.
Really?
That list highlights 100 destinations from all around the globe, offering unique travel experiences. The Destiny embarked on its maiden voyage in November 2025. It was the first Disney ship to be built around the theme of heroes and villains.
Interesting.
I mean, listen, they got that Disney money.
Yeah,
so they
that's
can
true.
afford to do whatever they want.
I saw the list yesterday, just because I wanted to see if I had how many places I had been to. Like barely any. They're like really obscure places. Like they even listed the Intuit Dome, I think.
No kidding.
Yeah.
So these are venues.
I was places that check out. I have no idea. It was like
wow.
All right, still ahead. Coco is in Malibu for the reopening of Duke's.
That's right. Good morning. The legendary and iconic seaside restaurant Duke's Malibu is reopening today. We'll take you here live coming up.
days until St. Patty's.
I think your Irish friend validated that they do celebrate in a big way.
Not as big and as silly as we do it here.
That's like saying the Germans don't celebrate Oktoberfest.
She said
It's
we
like-
celebrated, but not to the extreme that you do.
That's right.
Because they
asked
don't
her-
turn their rivers green like we do.
But
She
I
said no
asked
one
her-
gets pinched if they don't wear green.
But I asked her if she was river dancing on top of the tables.
And she said,
Yes.
no, she did not. I'm going to verify
Did she
this.
do like Coco? Yes.
Yes, that's right. I want to do I want to just hang out with Coco for a day, just shadow her for a day. She gets to do some really cool things.
She does.
Yes.
She gets all the fun stories too. Okay, so is it time? Is it time to go into what we can talk about? Speaking of St. Patrick's Day. There it is, Bob, just for you.
Right.
Aaron Gilbra.
Zoe appreciates the leprechaun.
Zoe, I hope you're watching.
One more
What's
day.
Zoe's last name?
Yule.
Yule?
Oh.
Is that an Irish name?
Y-U-L-E, like Yuletide.
Do you know that I have a little bit of Irish? Hard to believe, but yes, like 10% or a little less than 10% Irish.
Whoa, kiss you.
I'm like chop suey. So my mother's maiden name is Pearson.
Oh.
Yeah, so there's actually a crest there in Ireland from my
You're
great.
getting all the Irish men out there riled up.
My great great
Do we
grandpa.
kiss you on St. Patrick's Day?
Sure. Yes. All right. It's hot. What else can we say? Do you know this already? Maybe you have been hibernating and you don't know. You've just moved here to Southern California. We have unusually very hot conditions here expected. And yesterday we broke some records. Today we're going to potentially do that again, not just today, but into next week. And, you know, usually we get a little bit of relief during the overnight hours, but we're not even getting that. So this is why those heat alerts are in place for heat-related illnesses. Very possible, if not likely, if you don't take the necessary precautions. Yesterday was 92 for downtown. We've had 12 days in a row now for the month of March, on top of the 8 days in a row we had ending February. So this is a long stretch. Let's see how long we can go as we continue to see this high pressure ridge in control. 91 today for downtown LA. That's well above the average of 70. 91 for Woodland Hills, 90 in Pasadena, 92 in Ontario. Out towards Big Bear will be around 70 degrees near the lake. I think the lake, the water at the beach will be the best bet to stay cool even at the pool. So try to get there. 97 in Palm Springs today. I'll show you the 7-day forecast in just a couple minutes. But first, let's head back over to Samada, get another look at those traffic conditions. Hey, Samada, what's going on?
Good morning, Marie. Good morning, everyone. We do have a couple of issues working out there, but mostly Friday light outside of these two locations. But if this is part of your ride, eastbound 68 at Central Avenue, 2 middle lanes are still blocked due to a collision. We've got tow trucks en route, and the delays it has been backed up for a couple miles, so plan on accordingly. Northbound side of the 605 at the 60, we do have a collision here taking away the fast lane, and you can see it is bumper to bumper, slow and go. And even beyond that crash, things are a bit heavy as well. And speaking of that crash, this is the backup behind that accident, and it is a tough drive. Send back over to you, too.
All right, Samada, thank you. So it's been a long road back for one of Malibu's most iconic oceanfront restaurants.
That's right. Coco McAvoy is live at Duke's ahead of its grand reopening today. Good morning.
Good morning. Duke's Malibu, as you mentioned, is a legendary restaurant here on the seaside on PCH. And today is the big day. It is going to reopen at around noon, of course. And we've been speaking with customers and the staff throughout the coming days. And they are so excited for today because it is monumental for them. It's been 14 months since their closure. So let's go ahead and look at some video here so you can see what we're talking about. Like I said, this restaurant is here on PCH. It will reopen today with its full menu, a renovated space, and classic Hawaiian theme. Duke survived the Palisades fire, suffering smoke damage only, but the mudslides that followed caused a lot of destruction, leading to layoffs for more than 100 employees while the restaurant worked on repairs. You might remember Duke's was supposed to reopen last summer, but the reopening was delayed by construction. The restaurant underwent extensive repairs, including replacing plumbing, electrical, and kitchen equipment. Our team spoke with staff ahead of the reopening today.
We barely survived the fire. A lot of our neighbors unfortunately gone, like Moon Shadows, other iconic businesses like Real Inn. So we survived the fire, and we were in the middle of a smoke remediation. And about mid-February, we got hit by the first rain, which caused a large mudslide that came down Las Flores, our neighboring street.
So a lot of damage here at Duke's Malibu following the mudslide that followed from the Palisades fire. And today's a monumental day. We've seen cleaning crews go in and out of the restaurant, prepping for that noon reopening. We do expect a lot of people to come support the restaurant at noon when it opens. I'll send it back to you.
All right, Coco, thank you. Yeah, happy day over there for sure.
Looking forward to that.
Okay, meantime, some $300,000 in corporate donations will help the LA Unified School District replace vital classroom materials and supplies destroyed in the January wildfires. The LAUSD Foundation says the money will go directly to schools to fund more than 275 classroom projects at 12 campuses damaged or destroyed. The money will help pay for new desks and other basic classroom items and supplies. The foundation says the restoration efforts are made possible with donations from the SoCal Fire Fund, Amazon, and Disney Consumer Products. Foundation Executive Director Sadie Jefferson says, quote, the campaign is not just about classroom supplies. It's about restoring stability and showing our teachers that we're with them for the long haul.
All right, happening right now in downtown LA, Mayor Karen Bass, joined by more than 20 regional mayors, immigrant rights advocates, faith leaders, and residents. They're discussing the impacts of federal immigration enforcement across the Southland. Angelenos impacted by ICE are expected to share their personal stories. Last month, Bass signed a directive to build on the city's efforts to protect people from ongoing ICE raids. They also prohibited any federal immigration enforcement operations on city-owned property. So we'll continue to monitor this event. We've got reporters there, and we'll bring you updates in the next hour. Now to this, the Federal Trade Commission revisiting click-to-cancel rules. The agency might make it easier for consumers to cancel recurring subscriptions. For cable television, gyms, newspapers, and other products and services right now, the FTC is seeking public input on marketing practices that enroll consumers in automatic monthly subscriptions without expressly informed consent. You can go to regulations.gov to submit your comment. The FTC says in the last 5 years it has received more than 100,000 complaints about these practices.
Are you getting hyped up for the FIFA World Cup? Irvine's Great Park Sports Complex will be the official training grounds for the U.S. men's national team. The Athletic reports the men's team was planning to train at UC Irvine, but the location changed after UCI and FIFA could not come to an agreement. The team's practice sessions will not be open to the public. The Great Park has 24 soccer fields and a soccer stadium that seats 5,000 people.
Costco membership comes with a lot of perks, right? And now this will include a big discount on fertility medication. Costco members undergoing fertility treatments can now save up to 80%. They're teaming up with Sesame, a healthcare marketplace that allows members to buy certain fertility drugs at low costs. The partnership includes discounts on medications like Follistim, an ovarian follicle or stimulating hormone. Costco members can begin fertility care with a full diagnostic evaluation. If treatment is recommended, they may be referred to fertility clinics with medications filled at Costco pharmacies at a member rate.
California's Attorney General Rob Bonta says he is investigating Paramount's $110 billion deal to buy Warner Brothers Discovery. Speaking at a Beverly Hills press conference, Bonta says he is concerned the merger could hurt competition, raise prices, and lead to job cuts throughout Hollywood. The AG also criticized the federal government for stepping back on antitrust enforcement, leaving states to protect consumers. Paramount argues the deal will boost content creation and jobs, but critics worry about industry consolidation. Right now, the merger needs approval from regulators and Warner shareholders.
Disney Plus rolling out a new short-form video feature to compete with TikTok. This is called Verts, and it will be quick vertical videos inside the mobile app. The clips will include behind-the-scenes moments from Disney movies and TV shows. Users will also be able to add titles to their watch list or jump straight into a show or movie. If you have the platform, Verts is up and running right now.
That's where a lot of the money's going for sure. So speaking of TikTok, after ending a 4-year run on Sirius XM, TikTok Radio is making a comeback through a new partnership with iHeartMedia. The station launches today on the iHeartRadio app, featuring countdowns of the biggest songs of the week on TikTok. Music from new artists and hacks on the 20s, where they give you trending life hacks every 20 minutes. The idea is to mix popular TikTok music, trending topics, and conversations from creators, kind of turning your For You page into a radio station. It all launches tonight at 7.
I used to love TikTok radio on Sirius because it's all those catchy songs.
Right. That's how I discovered a lot of those new songs.
Yes, 100%. So
Can
now
it be a retro song that like all of a sudden become popular
That's
again?
right. Or they remix it into something that's TikTok.
Yeah, we saw the Milli Vanilli song when the Monsters came out. That was recirculating again.
Blame It on the Rain?
That was one of them.
One of the. But
Girl, I'm gonna miss you.
Oh,
yeah. So yeah, TikTok radio tonight. All right. All right, let's jump into Furry Friday. But first, before we do that, we asked, how often do you clean your house? And it looks like 64% of you say once a week.
Reasonable.
Yeah. My husband cleaned the house last night. I was like, I'm going to bed, because he says he doesn't want to have to do it on the weekend. He wants to enjoy his weekend. So
that's fair.
That's smart. Yeah. I get that.
I get that too.
Does he do the whole house or just parts of it?
He finds it therapeutic.
Okay. See, my Jared does the same thing, and I'm like, and then I feel guilty.
Yeah.
You're not chipping in.
Yeah.
But I'm tired.
I had to saunter off to bed. All right, time for Furry Friday Entertainment, sponsored by Yamava Resort and Casino. Here we go. Good daily DJ.
Look at that lighting, my God.
Handpicked Zoe from the Furry Friday submission email.
It's like a Mona Lisa pose.
It's a 1,000-yard stare.
Zoe is definitely in her Oscars era for the awards season weekend, and she is giving me drama, and I am a fan of it.
Wow.
Love it. Next, I didn't even have to come up with the pun for this one. Our viewer did. This is Gouda, and they wanted us to have a Gouda day. Nice pun. We love it. Thank you so much for sending that in. Next up, we've got Kofi in North Hollywood. I met Kofi's mom, Tracy. If you want the sweetest lady, she works at Macy's in Burbank.
Oh my gosh, I saw the picture that you posted.
Yes, she loves the show she watches, and she wanted Kofi to be on Furry Friday. So visit
Tracy, we love you.
Yeah, we love you, Tracy, from Macy's. You're the best. Okay, next, we've got Kiko, we've got Poncho, and we've got Palomo.
Whose house?
Ram's house.
If you are around Whittier, go see them at La Paca Clothing Store. These three were all rescued from abusive homes, and the store is pet friendly, so you can bring your pets to shop. I love that. Thank you so much for sending La Paca. There's the address right there. Plus, we want to tell you about an adoption. This is Twilight Sparkle, and Twilight Sparkle is smiling because he and the Amanda Dogs and Cats will be at Pet Food in Beverly Hills this Saturday for an adoption event. You've been to the Amanda Foundation.
The Amanda Foundation, they're fantastic.
They do God's work for our furry friends, and the event will be from 11 to 2 at the Pet Food Express. Don't miss it. If you have room in your home, in your heart, and you want to adopt, this is the place to be. And if you want to see your fur baby featured right here on Furry Friday, just send me an email to furryfriday@fox.com. Just make sure you include their pic, their name, and the city you both live in, so we can give you a proper shout out.
A good Furry Friday. Tomorrow is March 14th, or 314, which is also known as Pi Day. It's a perfect time to order a pizza, or apparently look for a new job. Pizza Hut is looking to hire the first of its kind Hut Crust Connoisseur.
Wow.
The job involves tasting and reviewing Pizza Hut's iconic crusts.
Oh.
The pay, $31,415.92,
Wow.
which are possibly the first 7 digits of pi. Oh, notably, I should say, not possibly, it is. You also get a free pizza for a year. Oh.
Heck
This is
yeah.
also to celebrate the Hut's new hand-tossed pizza with the new garlic parm Hut blend. It's the first change to the crust in over a decade. You can go to pizzahutcrust.com to apply.
Remember the tagline for Pizza Hut? Get to the Hut.
Get to the Hut.
Yeah. I still remember what a Pizza Hut smells like on the inside.
Me too.
Yeah.
We used to have parties there.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you read enough books.
Yeah.
And they had the Coca-Cola cups, the red cups.
Yes. Memories. Speaking of Smarties and speaking of pie, we are about to get a pop quiz in math. But don't worry, we're getting help from
we have to do this?
I know. Amazing mathnasium students. They're going to coach us along. Don't worry.
All right. But first, let's ask about the 101 and the 405.
Oh, yeah. Well, my bet is on the kids, just saying.
Yeah, 100%.
Good Day LA Traffic is sponsored by law offices of Jacob and Ronnie. Call Jacob.com. Yes, we do have this ongoing issue. It's going to be the northbound side of the 605 right there at the 60. Two-vehicle crash there has a lane still blocked off. You are picking up some delays there. And here's a Caltrans camera look of the struggle behind that incident. Hopefully they clear that soon, but you're going to definitely want to add a whole lot of extra time on your ride. And through the downtown LA stretch, mostly Friday light, 38 minutes. That's it. From downtown to get to Santa Monica, go ahead and calculate 34 minutes from the 60 at the 57 inbound to downtown from the Diamond Bar area. And here's a look at some other traffic hotspots.
I looked up and just ran.
Maybe we need to seek somebody who does have the expertise to be able to guide us through the process.
If you're getting to an accident,
you're in good hands by dealing with Jacob and Ron.
Call Jacob.
And welcome back to you. I'm meteorologist Maria Quaban. This weather is sponsored by the law offices of Larry H. Parker. A look outside. Can you tell how hot it is going to be today? I can sort of kind of see some of that heat emanating up from the sand. It is going to be hot because of this area of high pressure. And not to make light of it, but it will be on the dangerous side when we talk about our highs today, nearing triple digits again in some of those inland areas. High pressure, this dome of high pressure will stay put, really anchored over the southwest last, not just today, but into next week. We're going to expect to see these temperatures 20, 30 degrees above the average. So these heat alerts, which are in effect widespread, as you can see here, till tonight will likely be back up again, especially as we head into next week when temperatures are expected to be even hotter than today. If you're headed to the beach, good spot to go. Maybe cool off in the water with those temperatures in the upper 50s to mid 60s, but surf heights nearing 2 to 4 feet. Ventura County to LA coast, Orange County a little bit bigger, 3 to 5 feet. So as we always advise, swim or paddle out near a lifeguard, please, and stay safe. Stay heat safe over the next several days, particularly 91 today for downtown LA. Next week, St. Patrick's Day, we're going to be probably even hotter. 94 for the valleys, Inland Empire. Look at next week, Tuesday, 99, perhaps triple digits, so more records potentially. 70 degrees up into the mountains. I think that'll be the cool spot in the upper 60s this weekend there in Big Bear Lake. High desert, 84 degrees with temperatures getting well into the 90s next week. Next week's temperatures could be the hottest ever for the month of March since we've been keeping records, so keep that in mind. 97 in Palm Springs, then back to 102, 105 by next week, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'll send it back to you.
All right, Maria, thank you. Here we go. Tomorrow is Pi Day, and Mathnasium is turning it into a fun family celebration. Owner Andrew Boulis is here to tell us all about it, and he also brought 2 mathletes with him. We've got Doris over here and Nico. Welcome.
Yeah, Nico. You ready? I'm nervous. First of all,
you should be.
Yeah, right? Tell us about the free events that you have going on tomorrow.
Yeah, so Mathnasium is all about making math fun and accessible. So what we do is on Pi Day, we always get some form of pie, whether that's a pie like a pumpkin pie or apple pie or pizza pie. So Mathnasium's tomorrow on 3/14. Are going to be giving away free pizzas for participating centers, and we're partnering with Papa John's for it.
This is like your Super Bowl, right?
It is, a little bit, yeah.
That's the fun part of it. All right, here's the fun part of this. Nico and Doris, pi. How many numbers, digits can you recite? How far can you go?
Should I start?
Let's go.
Okay. 3.141592653589793238462643238462384679325 502884197
What?
7169399
Oh my gosh, she's still going. The producer said go on for 10 more seconds. You're on 30 seconds already.
4944 592307 1620628.
I am shooketh right now. Wow. Wow. Nico.
So every day do you learn a new number to add on to that? Like, do you know how many digits you can go for?
200.
Wow. That's amazing.
The brain. All right. So we have a little showdown that we're going to do right now. We're going to bring in Amanda.
Hello.
We're going to be talking math. She's got some questions. Before we start, though, Nico.
Yeah, Andrew.
I want you to give this 10 spot to that nice lady in the sequins over there. she's gonna go easy on us for the questions.
Wow, Jen. Do you think I can be compromised? I have integrity after all. Okay?
This is how we it's capitalism, this is how we do it. She's from Vegas, she knows.
Money talks.
Of course.
Money talks, but I got Doris.
You got Doris. Are you guys ready for a little Pi Day showdown?
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah. Okay, Pi Day LA. All right, question number 1. What number does pi represent? Oh, Doris?
3.14.
Yes, 3.14. She is correct. Are we ready for question 2? Why is Pi Day celebrated on March 14? Nico?
Because 3.14 represents March 14th.
Very good, Nico. Woo! Okay, who's ready for question 3? What shape is pi most commonly used to measure? Doris.
Circle?
Circle, yes. Okay, question number 4. How many degrees are in a full circle? Nico.
360.
That is correct.
That's right.
That's right. Woo! Okay, question 5. We're just going along here. What is the only even prime number? 2, yes. Okay.
I never knew that. That's pretty interesting.
What is 9 times 6? Nico.
54.
That is correct. Oh my goodness. Okay, what is half of 100?
50.
50. Okay, what is 1/4 of 20? Yes.
5.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, we're getting a little more complicated. If a pizza is cut into 8 slices and you eat 3, what fraction did you eat? Nico.
3/8.
That's right. Okay, if you eat half of a pie and your friend eats the other half, how much is left?
None.
None! That's right! Also, wow, your friend doesn't even leave you a little bit left. How many friends are these? All right, last question. Let me see those hands. Hover those hands. Nico, let me see, you gotta get ready.
Ready?
This is a which one. Which fraction is bigger? Half or third? Half. Doris. The answer is half. You got it, girl. Jen, money couldn't save you today.
I'm
But
down
math did.
$10.
Yeah.
You did a great job.
You did a great job. That was very
Awesome
close.
job.
You guys are, wow, the world is in good hands.
High five. I am very impressed.
High five. Good,
Are
great
you
job.
available to do my taxes? Okay, here we go.
So tell us about Mathnasium.
Yeah. I feel like everyone always has a math story, you know? You talk to people and it's like, oh, like, what's your favorite subject? And it's usually not math, right? So our whole goal with Mathnasium is for that answer to be, well, it's math, because we believe everyone is very capable of making math their favorite subject. And what we do is we try to make math as fun as possible.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Pi Day is a good taste of that, I guess.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
Mathematician.
How about you, Doris?
Doctor.
Doctor.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
yes,
right.
We are in good hands.
Promising young minds.
Yeah. Well, thank you all for being
you
with us
guys.
today.
Yeah,
You did a great
thanks for having
job.
us.
Happy Pi Day.
Happy Pi Day.
Appreciate it.
Let's get to Roxy and
Change
Sandra.
your
We're
mind
coming
about
up
the
on this good day.
When you say Pi Day, I think pizza, apple pie, you know, all the good stuff.
That's how our brains work. So impressive. You guys are fantastic. Thank you so much for coming. All right, so coming up, why the city of Hollywood will consider ending its partnership with a camera program meant to improve public safety.
Plus, it's International Women's History Month. What a new survey reveals about gender progress in society.
Good morning. Welcome to almost 9 a.m. on this Friday morning. Happy to have you with us. I'm Roxy Carpadian.
And I'm Sandra Endo. Let's take a look at today's headlines.
6 American soldiers have lost their lives in the war with Iran. What we know about the incident involving a U.S. plane crash in Iraq.
It's summer-like weather out there. It's coming in full force today. What you need to know if you're going outdoors.
And I'm Amanda Salas. It's not over. There's another big name in the fine arts industry who's speaking out against Timothée Chalamet's comments on opera and ballet. Ooh, he's really getting the supreme backlash for that one. What professional ballet dancer Misty Copeland is revealing. But first, let's check in with Maria.
Oh, it's getting hot over there. It's getting hot outside. Temperature is going to be very similar to yesterday. The difference is it's just a consecutive day after day of this heat will really bring the heat stress and likely some heat-related illnesses. So we really want to caution you about what you do plan ahead, especially in the afternoon hours. Right now, we're not seeing much in the way of cloud cover, just some very patchy clouds. Otherwise, a lot of sunshine today, so it's already heating up. It's nearly 80 degrees already at this hour in Woodland Hills and parts of the valley. It just ticked up in Huntington Beach, now 74, 72 in Santa Monica. Big Bear, it's warmed up to 30. That's still below freezing, though. That's really going to be the cool spot, I think, this afternoon. Will be up into the mountains, especially if you're near that lake of Big Bear Lake or Lake Gregory, Lake Arrowhead. That's going to be the place to be. 84 in the high desert areas to that 97 in the Coachella Valley in the low desert. Downtown LA, 91. Even along our coast is going to be pretty warm, nearing 80 degrees today, mid-90s for the valleys and the Inland Empire. How long will this heat wave last? I'll let you know coming up. My complete forecast. Back to you.
We're going to keep talking about the heat wave because, yes, it could be very dangerous for the old and the very young.
That's right. Mario Ramirez standing by with some telltale signs of heat exhaustion and heat stroke because they're very different.
Hey, guys, come here. Hi, yes, we are on the Rose Bowl Loop. I'm just stopping this couple because they've got this beautiful dog here, and we're really starting to feel the temperatures. We're live on Good Day LA this morning. Oh, wow. How are you feeling about the sunshine and the heat as it's starting to rise?
I mean, we're trying to get out here early so we can beat some of it, honestly. I think we'll probably be inside in the air conditioning the rest of the day.
Anything you guys do when it's this hot?
Try to make the best of it inside. I mean, we want to be out early because the dogs, you know, want her to be nice and cool. So, yeah, so we just, you know, try to make the best of the day and get going. Yeah, stay hydrated.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much. We'll let you carry on. Yeah, we've got, you know, very little clouds out here, and it's shaping up to be a nice morning, but we're talking about record-breaking temperatures expected today. So temperatures, they started climbing yesterday, but we're in the middle of this rare March heat wave. The National Weather Service issuing a heat advisory for much of LA County, including here in Pasadena, downtown LA, the San Fernando and San Gabriel valleys, and even the coastal areas. And the people here that we've been talking to, they've really been trying to beat the heat before it picks up today.
We're out here training for Baker to Vegas. It's the largest law enforcement race in the country. So we're just trying to get some training in real quick before we start work.
Trying to beat the heat today?
Try to beat the heat. It was really hot yesterday.
Drink a lot of water, stay in, get out early, do my run like about a half hour before the sun comes up, get back in, take a cold shower, sit in the dark and work, and then maybe go sit in the sun a little bit in the afternoon with a cold drink.
And as we brace for another day of dangerous heat, health officials say, you know, it's really important on days like this to know the difference between heat stroke and heat exhaustion. So let's show you some of those symptoms. Heat exhaustion can cause dizziness, heavy sweating, pale or clammy skin, and muscle cramps. Heat stroke is more...
In fact, if we can keep that graphic up, I think it's important to show the heat stroke aspect because that one is associated without the sweating that you get during heat exhaustion. So look at that. Throbbing headache, no sweating, red, hot, dry skin, rapid or strong pulse, and you may lose consciousness. So yes, these two things you need to be aware of, know what the difference is, but obviously if you're experiencing any of this, it's a sign that you need to get out of the heat, hydrate, you know. Oftentimes when you're super dehydrated, you've already hit that point where it's late.
It's too late.
Yeah.
So if you're experiencing the symptoms on the right-hand side of your screen where it's red right there, definitely seek help, call 911 before it's too late. All right, on to this now. Let's get to the latest headlines from the war with Iran.
Yeah, we begin with that tragedy that sadly killed 6 American service members.
It happened when a refueling aircraft crashed in Iraq. The Pentagon says the crash involved another aircraft and was not the result of hostile or friendly fire. This brings the total number of American deaths in the war to 13.
The U.S. Navy reports 2 sailors received minor injuries during a non-combat fire on the USS Gerald Ford, the world's largest aircraft carrier operating in the Red Sea in support of Operation Epic Fury.
Meanwhile, American and Israeli warplanes continue to increase attacks on Iran. During a Pentagon briefing this morning, Pete Hegseth said today the U.S. will drop the highest number of strikes on Iran to date. He also had this to say about the first public message from Iran's new supreme leader.
He put out a statement yesterday, a weak one, actually, but there was no voice and there was no video. It was a written statement. He called for unity. Apparently killing tens of thousands of protesters is his kind of unity. Iran has plenty of cameras and plenty of voice recorders. Why a written statement? I think you know why. His father, dead. He's scared, he's injured, he's on the run, and he lacks legitimacy. It's a mess for them. Who's in charge? Iran may not even know.
Meanwhile, the U.S. has temporarily lifted sanctions on Russian oil that is currently at sea, allowing it to be shipped to buyers around the world. The Trump administration is scrambling to contain energy prices that have been soaring because of the war in Iran.
And developing news out of Michigan, authorities have identified the suspect in yesterday's terror attack at a synagogue.
Investigators say it happened at Temple, Israel, in West Bloomfield Township.
Law enforcement sources have identified the man as a Lebanese national who entered the United States in 2011 and was later naturalized as a U.S. citizen in 2016. Armed with a rifle, the attacker, Ayman Hamad Ghazali, was shot and killed after ramming his vehicle through the doors and down a hallway before being engaged by security. The temple is home to a preschool with 105 young children who are thankfully all safe. One security guard was struck by the vehicle but is expected to be okay. 30 law enforcement officers were also treated for smoke inhalation.
Back here at home, LA's mayor and the LAPD are promising increased security at places of worship, and Beverly Hills security was especially tight as the U.S. Holocaust Memorial Museum honored some special guests last night. At the Beverly Wilshire Hotel, several speakers talked about anti-Semitism and they continue to battle it. One of the speakers was a Holocaust survivor.
What's happening right now is beyond my imagination. I never thought that in my lifetime I would see such upheaval, such a destruction of children, all God's children. We're all God's children. But we live in the time we have to do the best we can.
The LAPD remains on high alert. In addition, a private security team patrolled the area around last night's big event.
Now to Norfolk, Virginia, where one person is dead and 2 others injured after shooting at Old Dominion University. Authorities identified the suspect as Mohammed Jalloh. They say he opened fire inside a classroom at the university before being subdued and killed by ROTC students. One instructor was killed and 2 students were injured. The FBI confirmed Jalloh was a former National Guardsman previously convicted of supporting ISIS and had been released from prison just months ago.
Last month, the Supreme Court struck down President Trump's tariffs under the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, and a Court of International Trade saying that the administration needs to refund about $166 billion in tariff revenue. Now, millions of consumers are asking for reimbursements, but the Treasury Department hasn't said how much revenue was covered by the court ruling, leaving customers to seek refunds directly from businesses. FedEx and UPS are already facing class action lawsuits, and now a big business is joining that list.
Costco is getting hit with a lawsuit over tariffs and may now have to pay those surcharges back to customers. A shopper wants his tariff charges on purchased products to be given back. The suit was filed in an Illinois federal court and alleges Costco increased product prices to offset incurred tariff charges. Costco hasn't commented yet on this lawsuit. All right, LA drivers, listen up. You're about to see a lot more autonomous vehicles on the road.
Amazon's driverless taxi company Zoox is teaming up with Uber to bring robo-taxis here to LA.
The autonomous vehicles will be available through the Uber app starting in 2027. This is part of a multi-year partnership between the two companies. Zoox plans to launch its driverless rides in Las Vegas later this year before expanding to other cities, including right here in LA. Amazon bought Zoox in 2020, and the company says its vehicles have already driven more than 1 million autonomous miles, serving over 300,000 riders so far.
9:10 still to come. Amanda's got your entertainment headlines after the break, including details on a Family Guy spinoff.
But first, a check on traffic.
And Good Day LA Traffic is brought to you by DTLA Law Group Accident and Injury Attorneys. As we take a look at our real-time traffic map here, zooming into one of our live traffic cameras. This is the 605 freeway at, what street is this? It's hard for me to... Rose Hills. Thank you so much, Lisa, our director. This is 605 at Rose Hills. You can see both sides, actually, north and southbound sides look pretty good. Not a real major slowdown there. That's the good news. Westbound 10 freeway coming out of downtown LA towards Santa Monica between the 5 to the 405, just 35 minutes. This is actually not bad for a Friday. Northbound 110 between the 405 to the 10, 21 minutes. And on that West 60 between the 57 to the 5, just about 30 minutes there. Here's a look at some of the other traffic hotspots.
This broadcast is locally sponsored by DTLA Law Group, Auto Accident and Injury Attorneys. Have an injury? Text Injury Help to 40222 or visit us online at calldowntown.com. Message and data rates and usage may apply.
Hi.
Hi.
How's it
Happy
going,
Friday.
Sparkles?
It's Oscar weekend, so we have to go from day to night, you know?
Of course.
Or night to day, depending on what you're doing today. Entertainment sponsored by Yamava Resort and Casino. Ladies, one of my favorite animated shows that gives me the giggles every time, Family Guy.
Oh, so good.
So good, right? Well, Family Guy's Stewie Griffin is officially heading into his own spin-off series.
Ma! Mama! Ma! 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 Mom! 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 Mommy! Mommy! Mama! Mama! Mama!
What?
Hi.
Literally my life.
Right, and her expression nailed it.
Yes, my girls can relate here. The show has now landed a 2-season order for Stewie's spinoff at Fox and is expected to premiere next year. Creator Seth MacFarlane will still voice this iconic character, and according to reports, the show picks up after Stewie finds himself in a new preschool, going on some bizarre adventures through space and time. But don't worry, for the OG fans of Family Guy, Stewie will still appear on the main show, too. Speaking of the main show, girls, you know it's Fun Friday, and I've got a little pop quiz for you.
Oh, no. Okay.
Here we go. This Price is Right rules. I'm not doing multiple choice. What year did Family Guy first premiere?
1999.
Correct.
Really? And I didn't even look.
I was going to say 2000.
I just guessed.
Wow, correct, Sandra. Okay, next up. What is the dog's name on Family Guy? Happy Furry Friday.
Doug? No.
3, 2, 1. Doug? No. Brian. Remember that?
Yeah. I knew it was a human name.
I thought it was Bob.
Yep. Okay, we've got one more. 24 seasons of Family Guy, 453 episodes. But besides the upcoming Stewie spinoff, name the other spinoff from 2009 to 2013. I will give you a huge hint. It was named after a beloved character, and it's after a city in Ohio. A city in Ohio.
Columbus. Cleveland. Dover.
Dover.
The Cleveland show.
The Cleveland show.
She kind of got that correct.
She knows
I just
Ohio.
started naming cities.
Yeah, you did.
Dover for Jen.
Right. Yep, the Cincinnati show. It is the Cleveland show. It ran from 2009 to 2013. Thank you for playing this Friday Family Guy trivia. Give them a round of applause, everybody.
Why, every time you do this, I start sweating.
We panic when you come up here.
I don't like it.
You're like sweating in the palms.
I don't know.
Don't worry, you guys did really well. Really well today.
Okay.
You know who hasn't been doing too well in the headlines, though? Got to circle back to this one. Timothée Chalamet got some backlash over comments that he made about opera and ballet. So long story short, for those who know, you know it, but I'll just refresh. Chalamet did joke that he wouldn't want to work in an art form that people feel needs to be, quote, kept alive. You can understand why this upset thousands of people. Well, now professional ballet dancer Misty Copeland, she is weighing in with her own take on the actor.
First, I'd like to say that it's very interesting that he invited me to be a part of promoting what he's supporting with respect to my art form. But I think that it's important that we acknowledge that, yes, this is an art form that is not popular and a part of pop culture as movies are, but that doesn't mean it doesn't have enduring relevance and closure. All of these mediums have a space, and we shouldn't be comparing.
She says just because movies and shows are more popular, that doesn't mean they're more impactful than the fine arts. In her words, quote, there's a reason that opera and ballet have been around for over 400 years.
Spanning generations, it's classic art form.
Yeah.
And yeah, it doesn't have to be trendy and pop culture.
You know what's funny is that people are focusing a lot more on that sentence that he said. To me, it was the following sentence that he said that had a little more of a sting, where he realized what he said was a little bit offensive, and he goes, oh, I think I just lost 14 cents in viewership.
Yeah, well, yeah.
That one, to me, was a little more of a sting than the first one.
I feel like, do you think he's doing it on purpose? Like something's going to come out of that? He can't be that. I feel like it's a foolish thing to say, knowing you're going to get backlash.
It is, and I will tell you, I was rooting for him for months as his character Marty Supreme. I thought he did a fantastic job. I feel like Tyra Banks in America's Next Top Model. I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. This is an episode where she talks to a model, but I don't know if he's doing it on purpose, but it's not a good look either way.
Does he know his history? Everything stems from opera, ballet, classical
His
dance
mother
moves.
is
What's
a
a pirouette?
Right.
What's a turn in jazz?
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
that's all stemming from that.
And his mother is classically trained ballerina, and so is his sister. So yes, he does know. So he should know better than that. Yeah, of course.
All right, coming up, it's only going up, up, up from here. The big announcement from Netflix and Sony on K-pop Demon Hunters. We love that.
Any K-pop Demon Hunter story, we got you.
Yeah, that's right.
Here.
And welcome back to you. I'm meteorologist Maria Quaban. This weather is sponsored by Pechanga Resort Casinos. Man, looking at this live shot here at the beach, is this, let me guess, is this Redondo or Manhattan? I'm trying to, Manhattan Beach. Okay, I was close. We do have some waves rolling in, but man, that looks so much better, right? When we're thinking about 90s and record-breaking highs, which we did receive yesterday. Santa Ana reached a high of 97 degrees, that record high temperature. Oxnard 94, Camarillo 93, Long Beach tied their previous record and got up to 92 yesterday. Huntington Beach 85. So similar conditions today. We could break more records, and it's not going to end today. We will look for the potential for more record highs as we get into next week, when it's going to potentially be even hotter than today. We've got the hottest March temperatures ever possible next week since we started keeping records back in 1877. So more weather alerts and heat alerts in place as high pressure continues to dominate. We may get some extra high clouds tomorrow, so we'll bring those temperatures down a couple of degrees, but it's still going to be above average. But very hot conditions will continue. Forecast highs for Woodland Hills, 90s today. It'll drop to around 88 tomorrow, but look how it ramps right back up to the upper 90s, even hotter as we get into next week. Pico Rivera, similar, 93 today, down to around 82 tomorrow, but look at those mid-90s for the better part of next week. So stay cool, stay heat safe out there. Back to you.
Okay, Maria, thank you. All right, so believe it or not, my oldest kid, not my youngest, my oldest kid thinks K-pop is over. The music trend is done, she says. It's just not cool anymore, Mom.
Babies.
Yeah, it's for babies. Well, newsflash. Sevon, Netflix and Sony don't think so because they've just officially confirmed K-pop Demon Hunters 2. That's right.
We're going up it's our moment. You know together we're glowing. Gonna be golden. Oh.
You can't help it, can you? Right. After months of speculation, we now know Huntrix will be coming back for another adventure. Maggie Kang and Chris Applehans are returning to direct and write the sequel. Kang says, quote, "There's so much more to this world we have built, and I am excited to show you. This is only the beginning."
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. How long do you have to wait to see part 2? Well, K-pop Demon Hunters 2 set to be released in 2029.
Wow.
3 more years. Do you think the excitement over the film will die down by then? I mean, that is a long time.
You're tapping into a whole new generation there that has to be reintroduced to the original one and then the sequel. And then who knows if our kids are going to be aged out, right?
Well, apparently my oldest one is. So.
Well, let me ask you, how did they feel with Zootopia? Because there was a long...
What was that?
9 years.
They loved it. Yeah.
That was 9 years.
Okay,
That's a little different.
Let me explain, though. They saw Zootopia, obviously not 9 years ago. They saw it, you know, recently for them.
Which will be the same thing for K-pop Demon Hunters. These 3- and 4-year-olds now will watch it, and then they'll want to see the second.
The thing is, when it's animals and a different type of storyline altogether, it's not like social groups, you know, like K-pop Demon Hunters is.
If they have a great song, which they will, obviously, I think it'll come back.
I told them the next one has to be called Platinum.
Yes. Right, instead of golden. All right, last hour we asked you, how often do you clean your house? So here are the results. Once a week, once a month, prefer in natural state. Okay, once a week. A lot of clean people out there.
How about every day? How about every day?
Every day.
Define
Do your
clean bathroom.
something.
Gotta at least clean your bathroom.
What do you mean clean? Good morning and welcome to 9:30 on this Friday. I'm Roxy Carpadian.
And I'm Sandra Endo. Let's take a look at today's headlines. Impacts of immigration enforcement are felt across the Southland, as we know. So what we're learning about this morning's gathering of mayors and residents.
Plus, a Pentagon update on Operation Epic Fury, where the U.S. stands in the war with Iran and what that means for sanctions on Russia.
And ahead of the FIFA World Cup, we now know where the U.S. men's national team will be practicing for their big matches. But first, a check on weather.
Make sure you find ways of staying cool today, especially if you have to work under these weather conditions. It doesn't even feel like winter. It's still officially winter on the calendar, but we do have 7 more days left of winter. Spring will be officially here in the Northern Hemisphere on March 20th. We have 4 days until St. Patrick's Day, next week Tuesday, and 23 days until Easter. The headlines, of course, including the significant and prolonged heat wave. This will continue not just over the next several days, but well into the better part of next week. We're not going to really cool down too much either during the overnight hours, so you really have to be mindful of the heat. 20 to 30 degrees above normal is expected. And as we get to next week, we could potentially get the hottest March temperatures ever since we have started keeping records. So this is not your ordinary heat wave even for this time of year. So please stay heat safe. 71 degrees already right now for downtown LA. We're expecting around 91, 92 in Burbank, 94 in Woodland Hills, 80s out towards Santa Monica. Look at Long Beach, nearly 90 today, 97 in Palm Springs to that 70 in Big Bear. I'll show you the rest of the 70 forecast in just a few moments. Back to you.
All right, Mary, thank you. And if you don't like this heat wave, maybe you'll prefer the sizzling weather coming in Monday.
That's right, Mario, live in Pasadena with more on the back-to-back heat waves. I would keep looking at what you're wearing. Are you okay with that?
Do you guys have us? Do you guys have us with audio here?
Yes, we got you.
Okay. Sorry, I missed the question. Am I okay
I was just saying, I feel like you should be wearing something sleeveless, or I don't know.
Yeah, especially if you're gonna do some push-ups for us.
Well,
you need a tank.
We started off the morning in the 70s, just under 70 degrees. So that's why I'm wearing this, but it's officially uncomfortable now. I'm starting to sweat. So yes, I might need the short sleeves. Claudia, come here for a second. Claudia's lived here in Pasadena for 55 years. So my question for you is, are you used to this type of heat?
No, definitely not. I remember when I was back in high school in John Muir, like around 1984. This weather was happening May, June weather, not so much in March. So this is horrible weather. So I'm wondering how the summer's going to be, and definitely not looking forward to it.
Yeah, and I just telling Roxy and Sandra, I'm starting to sweat. I know you're feeling it. Yes, you as well.
Yeah.
Thank you. We'll let you go here. Continue on the loop here at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena. Thanks so much. So, yeah, it is getting busy out here. People are coming earlier than they usually do because it is going to be so hot. So from the coast to the valleys and the IE, the temperatures, they started rising yesterday, making mid-March feel more like summer. An early season heat wave sending temperatures across the Southland 20 to 30 degrees above normal for this time of year. And we're talking Ontario, Long Beach, and Burbank, just some of the spots that could break record highs in the low to mid-90s today. And that's the type of heat people out here are trying to beat today.
It's going to be wicked hot later, so got to come in, get it done early before the heat sets in. Just beat the sun. I always like getting the sunrise too. That's a added benefit.
Well, it's too hot. I don't like the hot weather. I mean, it still is okay, but I don't want it any hotter. I don't like it.
Ooh, just have to get out here a little bit earlier. After that, I go home and I'm just going to be in a nice air-conditioned house.
All right, officials urging people to drink plenty of water, limit outdoor activity in the afternoon peak heat hours, and check on those vulnerable neighbors. We have that heat advisory for much of LA County until 8 o'clock tonight. And today we're expecting a high of around 94, which could be a record-breaking day here for March 13th in Pasadena. Next week, temperatures are expected to reach 100 degrees, even higher, Sandra and Araxia. So looking forward to that. For now, live here, we'll send it back to you.
It looks hot out there already. Gosh, stay inside.
Can I just tell you, though, my favorite part when it's hot is the early morning and the evening when you just walk outside. You don't need any form of jacket. It just puts a smile on my face.
When it's perfect conditions, perfect temperature.
Yeah. Even this morning, I was in a good mood. I mean, it is Friday, and it is payday, But besides the point, the weather helps. Thank you, Mario. Talk to you later. It is payday.
You got it.
Yes.
Okay, just check it. Yeah. Mayor Karen Bass and nearly 24 other mayors and representatives have gathered this morning to discuss ICE's impact on their communities.
Let's go out to Gigi Graciette live in downtown LA with more on what they're saying this morning. Hi there, Gigi.
Good morning. A town hall just started a short while ago. Why don't you take a look inside? Mayors, faith leaders, community activists all coming together at the Japanese American Museum here in downtown Los Angeles to talk about the impacts of federal immigration enforcement activities in communities across Los Angeles County. We're talking about just over a dozen mayors, including Pomona, San Fernando, Long Beach, and of course Los Angeles, to name just a few, comparing notes on how detaining and deporting people who lived in their cities has affected residents and the economy. During the town hall, people who say they were personally impacted by immigration enforcement are also slated to share their stories.
Today, we're here to listen. We are here to bear witness. We are here as a coalition of cities from all across LA County to say that any law that requires intimidation in order to be successful should be no law at all, and that includes our immigration laws in America.
Now, according to the nonpartisan think tank, the Pacific Research Institute, despite its sanctuary status, California recorded over 15,500 arrests by ICE between January and October of last year, ranking it among the top 3 states nationwide targeted by the Department of Homeland Security, alongside Texas and Florida. That town hall is going on right now. It is by invitation only. Reporting live, I'm Gigi Graciette. Back to you.
All right, Gigi, thank you. West Hollywood City Council wants assurances that data from its public safety camera program doesn't go to ICE. Monday, the city staff is due to report on possible changes to the city's contract with its surveillance technology provider, Flock Safety. The changes may include terminating the contract if the council isn't guaranteed data from the cameras isn't used for federal immigration enforcement. West Hollywood's network of surveillance cameras includes 39 automated license plate readers, 6 fixed live video cameras, and 1 mobile camera. Now to the latest headlines from the war with Iran.
The death toll of American service members involved in Operation Epic Fury is now 13. And this morning we are learning that 6 more service members died when a refueling aircraft went down in Iraq after colliding with another refueling plane. That second plane landed safely.
The U.S. Navy reports 2 sailors received minor injuries during a non-combat fire on the USS Gerald Ford. The world's largest aircraft carrier is operating in the Red Sea in support of Operation Epic Fury.
Meanwhile, American and Israeli warplanes continue to increase attacks on Iran. During a Pentagon briefing this morning, Pete Hegseth said today the U.S. will drop the highest number of strikes on Iran to date.
The increased pace of the attacks is able to happen because of Iran's weakened air defense systems. U.S. and Israeli warplanes are able to drop precision-guided bombs, lessening the reliance on long-range missiles. Long-range weapons now account for only about 1% of ones fired, a major shift since the beginning of the campaign.
Iranian combat power continues to decline as a result of the continued strikes, as the Secretary talked about. We've attacked over 6,000 targets, and our strike packages continue to launch every hour, and we've maintained an unprecedented number of sorties up overhead of Iran.
Israel says it has carried out more than 7,600 strikes in Iran and more than 1,000 in Lebanon.
Gas prices keep climbing this morning. Here's a look at some of the averages in our area. According to AAA in Los Angeles and Long Beach, we are seeing $5.46 per gallon, Orange County $5.42, Riverside and San Bernardino $5.36, and Ventura $5.40. As Iran continues to attack ships in the Strait of Hormuz carrying 20% of the world's oil supply, the U.S. is reassessing Russian sanctions. The Trump administration now moving to temporarily ease those sanctions on Russian oil to help stabilize global energy markets amid soaring prices because of the war with Iran. The U.S. Treasury has issued a 30-day authorization for countries to buy Russian oil as part of an effort to boost supply. The measure only applies to oil already in the sea and isn't expected to significantly benefit Moscow financially. However, critics warn it undermines sanctions meant to pressure Russia to end its invasion of Ukraine.
In the meantime, though, airlines are raising ticket prices as the U.S. war with Iran drives up oil costs, putting pressure on travelers. A new report from Deutsche Bank shows domestic flight prices for some airlines more than doubled compared to last week, while others jumped 15 to 57%. Industry executives say higher jet fuel costs are pushing airfares up, especially for transatlantic, Caribbean, and last-minute routes. Spirit Airlines had the biggest increase, with one-way flights now starting at $193.
Happening today, jury deliberations begin in the social media addiction trial underway in downtown LA. It is a case accusing Meta and YouTube of harming a teenage user. The lawsuit also accuses the tech companies of intentionally designing their platforms to be addictive for kids and claims the platforms were negligent and failed to warn about potential dangers for minors.
The city of LA is under fire for delaying the release of a human rights report tied to the 2028 Olympics. Advocates say the city's lack of transparency is stalling efforts to address homelessness, civil rights, and human trafficking. The report, completed in December, remains unseen by city leaders, leaving experts concerned about accountability. With major events like the World Cup and Olympics ahead, advocates are urging action and funding to protect vulnerable communities and ensure public oversight.
Civil rights advocates are putting a state investigation into the Eaton fire under a microscope.
What really happened? Why those in West Altadena did not get notified about the evacuation to 3:25 a.m. and others got notified so much earlier.
California Attorney General investigating if there are any racial or other discriminatory actions related to the Eaton fire evacuation orders. Specifically, state investigators and civil rights attorneys want to know why did East Side Altadena get evacuation orders much earlier than West Side, where 18 people died.
If the facts show that decisions were made based on the racial composition of the community, we will seek accountability.
LA County officials say they're cooperating with the state investigators, but they don't believe a discriminatory role played a factor. The probe is expected to be completed by fall.
Some $300,000 in corporate donations will help the LA Unified School District replace vital classroom materials and supplies destroyed in the January 2025 wildfires. The LAUSD Foundation says the money will go directly to schools to fund more than 275 classroom projects at 12 campuses damaged or destroyed. The money will help pay for new desks and other basic classroom items and supplies. The foundation says the restoration efforts are made possible with the donations from the SoCal Fire Fund, Amazon, and Disney Consumer Products. Foundation Executive Director Sadie Jefferson says, quote, "The campaign isn't just about classroom supplies. It's about restoring stability and showing our teachers that we're with them for the long haul."
Well, after the Palisades fire and the mudslides, one iconic Malibu restaurant is ready to open. We are excited about this.
That's right, Coco, showing us the grand reopening of Duke's Malibu.
Hey there, there's a lot of reason to be excited too, because Duke's Malibu is such an iconic seaside restaurant, and it will be opening today, reopening after being closed for 14 months because of the Palisades fire and mudslides that followed. So take a look at this video here. We want to show you some video of Duke's Malibu as it has been renovated the past few months. Again, this is an iconic staple restaurant on PCH. It will reopen with a full menu, renovated space, and classic Hawaiian theme. Duke survived the Palisades fire, suffering just smoke damage, but the mudslides that followed caused a lot of destruction, leading to layoffs for more than 100 employees. You might remember Duke's was supposed to reopen last summer, but the reopening was delayed. The restaurant underwent extensive repairs, including replacing plumbing, electrical, and kitchen equipment. Our team spoke with customers and staff ahead of the reopening today.
I've been coming here since it opened like 40, 50 years ago. It's a dream. Yeah, we all come here after we surf, work, play. We love this place, man. We support it all the way. We missed it, right?
I've been coming here all my life. I grew up in Southern California, and Duke's has always been a mainstay. I'm thrilled.
I'd say our patio is one of the things that's the most exciting. We have one of the best patios in LA, and the waves hit the windows, and I feel like we just showcased that even better than we did before.
And you heard that customer say that he's been coming for 40 years. I think that really is telling of how iconic this restaurant is, because it's going to be celebrating just its 30th anniversary this year, but it's such a staple in this community that people feel like it has been around forever. So a lot of excitement here, and it's going to be opening today at noon. I'll send it back to you.
Oh, great views, great food, great vibe.
Is it the mud pie?
I
think it's like big. Yes,
Ooh.
so good.
I just like the drinks. That's good enough
well,
for
that's
me.
good too. Mud pie and drinks.
Let's do it. All right, Coco, thank you.
So California is investing $23 million to bring fresh, locally grown food to low-income families. Governor Gavin Newsom announced the funding will expand access to fruits and vegetables for CalFresh. WIC and Senior Markets Farmers Market Nutrition Program recipients are eligible shoppers. They can double their benefits at farmers markets and other outlets supporting both families and local farmers. Officials say the program fights food insecurity, boosts health, and strengthens California's agricultural economy with benefits reaching over 300 markets statewide.
Happening today, Chipotle is bringing back a delicious deal in honor of Friday the 13th. That's the day tattoo artists tend to offer discounts on their work, so Chipotle is doing the same. To qualify for a buy one, get one free entree, all you have to do is show up at any restaurant today between 3 and 4 p.m., show off your tattoo to the employee behind the counter, and get this, the tat doesn't even have to be real. It can be a temporary or drawn on with a Sharpie if you want.
That's not a tattoo.
Have fun with it. You can stack up the BOGO deal up to 5 free menu items. That's a good deal. Okay.
If you draw it on with the Sharpie,
Yeah.
I mean, you got to give a little effort. Come on.
Get a little fake one that you have to put, the water on.
Yeah, a fake tattoo.
Take it off.
Yeah, my kids love those. Okay, I know you're excited. Are you excited for FIFA World Cup? Irvine's Great Park Sports Complex will be the official training ground for the U.S. men's national team. The Athletic reports the men's team was planning to train at UC Irvine, but the location changed after UCI and FIFA couldn't come up to an agreement. They couldn't decide on how they were going to do this. So the team's practice sessions will not be open to the public. The Great Park has 24 soccer fields and a soccer stadium that seats 5,000 people.
That's right. I spent a lot of time there. All right. Do you enjoy going to state parks? Do you have a favorite one? Well, now's your chance to vote for the best. Voting is now open to cast ballots for California's best state parks. You've got more than 280 to choose from. Last year's winners included Morro Bay State Park for best camping, Sonoma Coast State Park for being best dog friendly, and Natural Bridges State Beach for being kid friendly. To cast your ballot this year, go to calparks.org/best of 2026. All right, coming up, and doesn't all this heat outside make you just want to go on a yacht, maybe? Details on a new job opening paying you big bucks for big boats.
Plus, the magazine releases Time Magazine, releases its world's greatest places. We're going to tell you which cruise line is making waves.
Okay, we were just talking about how it's going to be hotter here than Las Vegas. And typically, Las Vegas would be hotter, right? It's right there in the desert. But here in downtown LA, around 91 today. Las Vegas, around 87. So we're definitely going to be hotter. Listen, this heat wave is going to continue, so it bears reminding what to do. Please drink a lot of water. We consider the heat the silent killer. People don't understand that it is actually the leading cause of weather-related deaths. More than tornadoes, hurricanes, floods, all of that combined, more people die from heat. So please remember these tips. Proper accessories, wear a hat if you have to be outdoors, if you work in the sun, make sure you take numerous breaks. Bottom line, get in some air conditioning unless you're in the pool or in the water. You really want to check on the elderly, check on your friends, your neighbors, and of course, take care of the little kids and your pets. Never leave anyone, any pet at all in a car, please. Temperatures on the sand, mid to upper 70s. Water temperatures refreshing in the mid 60s, but please swim or paddle out near a lifeguard. We're looking at 3 to 5 foot sets in Orange County, 2 to 4 feet, LA County, Ventura County beaches. Speaking of 78 degrees there today, but looking at low 80s as we get into next week. St. Patrick's Day will be a hot day next Tuesday. 91 today for downtown LA, looking at 98 by the time we get to next week. So again, more record-breaking highs possible through the next several days. 94 for the valleys and the Inland Empire, 99 next week. The mountains will be the cool spot, I think, in Southern California. Around 70 there in Big Bear Lake. 67 tomorrow and Sunday, but back up to near 80 as we get to next week up into the mountains. 84 in the high desert and the Coachella Valley, of course, really hot there in Palm Springs. 97 getting to those triple digits as we get to next week. I'll send it back to you.
All right, Maria, thank you. And with all this heat, you just want to dip in the ocean, right?
A brand new Disney cruise ship is already making waves in the travel world. The Disney Destiny has been named by Time Magazine's 2026 World's Greatest Places list. That list highlights 100 destinations from around the globe offering unique travel experiences. The Destiny embarked on its maiden voyage in November of 2025. It was the first Disney ship to be built around the theme of heroes and villain.
Quite a show there. All right, well, we stick to the nautical theme for this next story. A dating app is looking to hire a chief yacht officer. The job basically involves throwing parties for singles at sea, and it pays up to $200,000. Ditto is an AI-powered dating platform, and they plan to host a series of blind date events on boats across the country with about 100 college kids at each party. Why does this make me think this is going to be a disaster? The chief yacht officer would plan and run events, coordinating everything from invites to travel and marketing. Ditto has already hosted similar events locally for USC and UCLA students. The startup says hundreds of people have already applied for the job so far, but I don't know, 100 college students on a yacht as a blind date. I mean, what if it's so terrible you want off the yacht? What do? Just jump into the water and swim back?
It will teach you patience.
Patience.
That's
just
right.
To endure
pain.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're a Google Maps user, your next drive could feel more like a video game thanks to their new AI-powered 3D navigation experience. So the maps will now offer a 3D view that reflects buildings, overpasses, and the terrain around drivers. The new upgrade will also highlight lanes, crosswalks, traffic lights, and stop signs. The company says the updated view will make it easier for drivers to orient themselves while on the road, adding that the new features mark the largest upgrade Google Maps has seen in more than a decade. Okay, we have an early Pi Day celebration from Mountain Mike's Pizza.
Ooh.
They want to get the word out, of course, about tomorrow's Pi Day deal. All day Mountain Rewards members who purchase any medium pizza can add a second one topping medium.
Perfect.
One topping medium for just $3. And guess what? 14 cents. That's right. So thank you.
Thank you.
Mountain Mike's. This looks great.
I love the cupped pepperoni.
Ooh, me too. That's my favorite, actually.
But this one looks good. It has artichoke hearts on it, too. It'd be like a veggie option. Thank you. I like Pi Day. That's awesome.
Oh, thankfully, we'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
I like the cup pepper. Better. Good morning. Welcome to 10 a.m. Here's some of the stories we're covering for you on this Friday morning.
SoCal residents are getting their morning workout in a little earlier because it's going to be another scorcher. We're talking about record-breaking temperatures today. We're live in Pasadena coming up.
And the war with Iran claims 6 more American lives after a crew of airmen is killed during the crash of a refueling plane. What the Pentagon is saying about the incident.
You have quite a bit of hot temperatures we're expecting today. Possible record highs again. Downtown LA, we're forecasting 91, Ontario 92, Burbank 94, same with Pasadena, which could all break the previous records. I'll have more on my complete weather forecast coming up.
A lot of people don't adapt very well to hot weather. In fact, the heat can be downright dangerous to them, right?
That's right. Mario Ramirez standing by with some signs you should be looking out for with this heat wave. Right, Mario?
Yeah, that's right. This heat means that we could see heat-related illnesses, heat stroke, a big concern. 94 degrees, that's the forecast today here in Pasadena, and that could mark a record for this Friday, March 13th. Now, we're here at the Rose Bowl Loop in Pasadena, and look at this. A lot of people getting their early morning workout in because, like we're saying, today is going to be another scorcher, the back end of the first round of this heat wave. So take a look. The National Weather Service issuing a heat advisory for much of LA County. That includes here in Pasadena, downtown LA, the Inland Empire, the San Fernando and San Gabriel valleys, and even coastal areas. That means these temperatures are hot enough to create a health risk. And people here that we've been talking to, they're really starting to feel it already. Take a listen.
We're out here training for Baker to Vegas. It's the largest law enforcement race in the country. So we're just trying to get some training in real quick before we start work.
Trying to beat the heat today?
Try to beat the heat. It was really hot yesterday.
Drink a lot of water, stay in, get out early, do my run like about a half hour before the sun comes up, get back in, take a cold shower, sit in the dark and work, and then maybe go sit in the sun a little bit in the afternoon with a cold drink.
And you count us. All right, so we're talking about this heat, and health officials say it's important to know the difference as we're seeing these temperatures between heat stroke and heat exhaustion. So let's show you some of the symptoms. Heat exhaustion can cause dizziness, heavy sweating, pale or clammy skin, and muscle cramps. Heat stroke more dangerous, and that can cause a throbbing headache, red hot dry skin, a loss of consciousness. And someone who has heat exhaustion, move them to a cool place, give them some water if they're alert, and if you suspect heat stroke, call 911 immediately. So back out here live, I've got a few people here. I've challenged them to a pull-up competition. So Sandra and Aroxia, as we toss back to you, Alex, and what was your name, sir? Anthony. Okay, I'm going to have you hold the mic here. Sandra, Aroxia, we'll send it back to you. Come on, let's
All right, let's go. Mario.
Go ahead.
Mario.
1.
Whoa.
Count 2.
Nice.
3.
All right, 4.
My money's on Mario.
5.
Earlier this morning, he was doing push-ups. He totally won.
7.
So let's go. You got this, Mario.
Wow, these guys are giving me a run for my money.
Woo, you can do it.
Don't talk, don't talk, just focus. Don't talk. Save the energy.
Oh, nicely done. Great work.
This guy beat me. Nice job, guys.
You're still our hero.
That's
At least I got it in early, right?
That's right. No, honestly, I mean, if you're going to work out outside, do it now, because you're not gonna
even now
do it.
it's getting too hot.
Yeah.
So maybe tonight.
What we do.
All right, Mario, thank you.
Good job.
All right, now we turn to the latest headlines from the war with Iran. This morning, we learned that 6 more U.S. service members died when a refueling aircraft like this one went down in Iraq after colliding with another refueling plane. That second plane landed safely. There have now been 13 American service members killed in the war.
American heroes, all of them. And as I have with all of them, as we have, we will greet those heroes at Dover, and their sacrifice will only recommit us to the resolve of this mission.
Meanwhile, the U.S. Navy will soon be escorting ships through the Strait of Hormuz, and that will happen as soon as militarily possible, according to President Trump. This comes amid concerns that Iran is laying mines in the narrow, strategically important waterways that typically handle about 20% of the world's oil supply.
The only thing prohibiting transit in the Straits right now is Iran shooting at shipping. It is open for transit should Iran not do that. Now, there's a reason why we chose, as one of our primary objectives, destroy the Navy. We understood the ability to interdict shipping is something Iran has done for 40 years. It's key terrain. They've used it as leverage. The world is seeing what they'll do to fight back in that context. And so we've heard them talk about taking various measures, and we're planning for all of them. So we have a plan for every option here. We're working with our interagency partners, and that's not a strait we're going to allow to remain contested or with a lack of flow of commercial goods.
The Trump administration is temporarily lifting sanctions on some Russian oil shipments for the next month. It's an effort to combat skyrocketing oil prices. The decision is not sitting well, though, with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. He said the decision will give Russia about $10 billion towards war efforts in his country. Our European allies also not happy with this as well. President of the European Council says Trump's unilateral decision is concerning because it impacts European security. The head of Obsidian Risk Advisors said Trump's move shows the U.S. was not really prepared for the war and the lengths the Iranians were willing to go with the Strait of Hormuz.
Back-to-back attacks in separate states have put communities across the country on high alert. In Virginia, the campus of Old Dominion University was the scene of deadly gunfire.
While in Michigan, the latest attack involved the nation's Jewish community when a driver ran a truck into a synagogue. Fox's Caroline Elliott is in West Bloomfield, Michigan with the very latest. Caroline.
Yeah, Sandra, Roxia, still a lot to break down in this investigation as it's still early on. But at this point, investigators are looking to see if there's a connection between this attack and also what's going on in the Middle East. After local media reports said the attacker allegedly lost 4 family members in Israeli airstrikes in recent days. Meantime, the Michigan governor is also hailing the security inside the temple as a hero.
They were selfless in their courage, and they saved lives.
Michigan investigators have yet to confirm a motive in Thursday's attack, but are calling the incident a targeted act of violence against the Jewish community. The attacker, a 41-year-old naturalized citizen born in Lebanon, was killed by security Thursday after ramming his truck into a large Michigan synagogue.
We must lower the rhetoric in this state and in this country, especially at this moment where we've seen such a rise in anti-Semitism.
New reports by the Detroit News revealing a possible connection to tensions in the Middle East and the U.S.-Israel conflict with Iran. Sources telling the news outlet the man had at least 4 relatives, including a sibling, killed days earlier in Israeli airstrikes in Lebanon. At the White House Thursday, President Trump vowed to get to the bottom of it while sending his love to the Jewish community.
I've been briefed, fully briefed, and it's a terrible thing.
A separate attack happened in Virginia on the same day at the campus of Old Dominion University.
Respond on attack 3 for an active shooter.
A gunman opening fire on a classroom, killing 1 person and hurting 2 others.
And I seen somebody laid on the ground getting treated.
The incident also seems to have ties to the Middle East. The FBI said the shooter was previously convicted of supporting ISIS and was still on probation when he carried out the attack.
This is not okay. This never should have happened.
And synagogues not only here in Michigan, but across the world are now on high alert. Sandra, Roxia.
Really all across the country. Thank you so much. Appreciate that report. And before we let you go, I'm so sorry you're standing out there in the cold. I know you guys had some crazy weather early this morning.
Yes, we did. You know, it's been 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts at times and even snow. So not LA. We're not in LA.
Definitely need a hat and gloves.
I'm not even going to tell you the temperature here. I'm just not going to say it.
I don't want to know. Please, please spare me.
Oh, my goodness. Thank you so much. Appreciate that report.
Now back here at home, LA's mayor and the LAPD are promising increased security at places of worship. In Beverly Hills, security was especially tight at the U.S. Holocaust Memorial Museum, honoring some special guests last night. At the Beverly Wilshire Hotel, several speakers talked about anti-Semitism, and they continue to battle it, and one of the speakers was even a Holocaust survivor.
What's happening right now is beyond my imagination. I never thought that in my lifetime I would see such upheaval, such a destruction of children, all God's children. We're all God's children. But we live in the time we have to do the best we can.
The LAPD remains on high alert, and in addition, a private security team patrolled the area around last night's big event. Mayor Karen Bass and nearly 24 other mayors are gathering this morning to discuss ICE and the impact it has on their community.
They will also hear from residents impacted by the raids. Gigi Graciette live for us in downtown LA with what they're saying. Gigi.
Good morning. That town hall underway right now here at the Japanese American Museum in downtown Los Angeles, the neighborhood Little Tokyo to be more specific. And as you mentioned, Mayor Bass is here.
Today we bring these actions into light. We're here to restore transparency.
Mayors and representatives for cities across Los Angeles County came together with immigrant advocates, faith leaders, and residents at the Japanese American Museum for a town hall meeting focusing on the impact federal immigration enforcement has had in their cities. The mayors of Pomona, San Fernando, Long Beach, and Los Angeles, to name just a few, comparing notes on how detaining and deporting people who lived in their cities has affected other residents and the economy, and how just the presence of federal agents has sparked fear for so many. During the town hall, people who say they were personally impacted by immigration enforcement were also slated to share their stories.
Today, we're here to listen. We are here to bear witness. We are here as a coalition of cities from all across LA County to say that any law that requires intimidation in order to be successful should be no law at all, and that includes our immigration laws in America.
According to the nonpartisan think tank, the Pacific Research Institute, despite its sanctuary status, California recorded over 15,500 arrests by ICE of undocumented immigrants between January and October of last year, ranking it among the top 3 states nationwide targeted by the Department of Homeland Security, alongside Texas and Florida. Bringing it back here live, that town hall underway right now. Reporting live, I'm Gigi Graciette. Back to you.
All right, Gigi, thank you.
All right, let's talk about our weather right now because it is top of mind. We do have some very hot temperatures on the way, especially as we talk about going into next week. Right now, we're looking at our satellite radar pictures. Not much. There's a few clouds, but not enough to certainly filter out the sunshine to where we're going to feel a difference or a cool down. High pressure is in control of our weather. That's going to keep us under this offshore flow, and that will really help to warm up the atmosphere to the 90s today, nearing triple digits. And as we get into next week, even hotter temperatures. As we get into tomorrow, we may get some high clouds from some of this that's just offshore, but that will bring our temperatures down maybe a couple degrees. That's about it. Not enough to make a real big difference, but that high pressure will be reinforced by another dome of high pressure as we get into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That will produce the very hot temperatures. In fact, as we were looking at those temperatures, it could be the hottest temperatures ever recorded in the month of March since we've been keeping records since 1877. So we could be shattering old record highs as we get into next week. Today, we're looking at the potential for more record high temperatures, certainly like yesterday. 81 degrees already in Woodland Hills and downtown, 80 in Santa Monica, 75 in Santa Ana, 55 in Big Bear. It was below freezing earlier this morning, so it's starting to really warm up. 84 in Palm Springs. Big Bear will be the coolest, I think, though, as we look at our Southern California highs. 70 degrees there this afternoon at the lake, 84 in the high desert to nearly triple digits in the Coachella Valley. Downtown LA, 91, 90s, mid-90s for the valleys and the Inland Empire, nearing 80 for our coastal communities. We'll talk more about this coming heat wave. We'll show you where those heat alerts are in place in just a few minutes. Back to you.
Maria, thank you. California investing $23 million to bring fresh, locally grown food to low-income families. Governor Newsom announcing the funding will expand access to fruits and vegetables for CalFresh. WIC and Senior Farmers Market Nutrition Program recipients or eligible shoppers can double their benefits at farmers markets and other outlets, supporting both families and local farmers. Officials say the program fights food insecurity and boosts health and strengthens California's agricultural economy with benefits reaching over 300 markets statewide.
The Trump administration is suing California over its car pollution and zero-emission vehicle rules. The lawsuit claims California's standards illegally impose electric vehicle mandates and conflict with federal law. Officials argue these rules create inconsistent regulations for automakers. California, however, says it's leading the clean vehicle market and won't back down.
Oakland throwing a huge celebration for hometown Olympian Elisa Liu and debates on the right way to say her name. We were just discussing it.
And police found a lot more than stolen designer handbags when they caught up with alleged thieves who hit an El Segundo home. The eye-popping price tag attached to all these goods.
And we do have some traffic to talk about. Good Day LA traffic brought to you by My Home Sold. As we take a look at one of our live traffic cameras here. It's busy on that West 10, but moving though. This is at San Pedro Street. As you can see, westbound side are the cars here coming at you on the bottom of your screen. As we look at the drive times in and out of downtown LA, a little improvement here on that West 10 towards Santa Monica between the 5 to the 405, just 28 minutes. On that North 110, really good between the 405 to the 10, only 16 minutes there. Westbound 60 between the 57 to the 5, just 25 minutes. Here's some of the other traffic hotspots.
Hello, I'm Adrian Hernandez with MyHomeSold.com, and we want to buy your house cash. We'll give you a cash offer for your house today. Sell your house the easy way with no commissions, no fees, no repairs. For free, no obligation cash offer. Go to MyHomeSold.com.
Welcome back. New this morning, Toyota is recalling more than 500,000 SUVs over problems with rear seats locking. The recall involves Toyota Highlanders and Highlander hybrid SUVs. The recall is for the model years 2021 through 2024. The second row seat backs may fail to lock into position, which could increase the risk of injury in the event of crashes. Dealerships will fix the problem for free.
New data from AAA shows the number of hit-and-run crashes in the U.S. Their highest point in about a decade. AAA found that about 15% of all reported crashes now fall under the hit-and-run category. The study examined crash data across the country from 2017 to 2023, pedestrians, cyclists are especially vulnerable. 1 out of 4 people killed in crashes in 2023 were struck by a driver who actually fled the scene.
Cyclists and pedestrians need to keep in mind that if you are walking or cycling late at night or out in areas where there's not a lot of street lights, you definitely want to wear that reflective vest. You want to wear clothing that can be seen, and also you need to walk and cycle defensively. If you hear a car coming from behind you that's going way too fast, try and get over if you can.
When a driver takes off and there is no exchange of information, victims are often left to bear the costs of the collision and, of course, their injuries.
New this morning, a suspected burglar is in custody after a massive theft operation was uncovered. El Segundo police arrested the man on February 25th. They say he's linked to a January burglary where $600,000 in valuables were stolen. A search of his Temecula home revealed over $6 million in stolen goods. They included luxury handbags, watches, jewelry, firearms, and cash. Authorities believe he's part of an organized burglary crew targeting multiple counties. Investigators are working to identify more victims.
Oh my gosh. All right. Oakland throwing a huge celebration for hometown Olympian Alyssa Liu.
Oh my God, thank you. This is for y'all, all right?
7,000 people packed Frank Owaga Plaza to honor Liu's 2 gold medals from this year's Winter Olympics. The event featured performances by Oakland stars G-Eazy and Grammy Award winner Kalani. This was a pretty big performance. They even had Chinese New Year stuff there. That's fun. So fans debated. This is the debate which we were just having. How do you correctly say her name? So she set the record straight. Listen.
How do you pronounce the Olympic gold medalist's name?
Oh, I think it's Alyssa Liu. I thought it was Alyssa Liu until this point, but maybe I'm saying it wrong.
Alyssa Liu? No, it's Alyssa Liu.
I think it was Alyssa Liu.
My family calls me Elisa, but like all my friends call me Alyssa, so it really doesn't matter. And then my last name, the Chinese pronunciation is Liu.
Okay.
No.
So here's the good news. However you say it, she's okay with it.
She's okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So sometimes say it like this, sometimes like that. She did receive a key to the city. Congratulations to her. That's pretty amazing. 7,000 people showed up to show her some love.
Elisa, not Alyssa.
Yeah.
And not Liu, it's Leo.
Now I'm more confused than before.
Like Otani, not Otani. Right? I mean, we could go on and on, but they're all okay with it, right? That's the bottom line. All right, we've seen all kinds of specialty popcorn buckets over the years, from character heads to interactive designs, but one theater's new popcorn bucket is going to have you saying, "Hold my bag." I thought of you when I saw this, Amanda.
I know.
AMC is offering moviegoers the chance to get their hands on a purse popcorn bucket made especially for The Devil Wears Prada 2. The purse bucket fits a medium-sized popcorn, a pair of shades. It's also up for grabs, but both the shades and the bucket will only be available for viewers at the opening night event on April 30th. The Devil Wears Prada 2 comes out May 1st. Are you going to get one?
You know what? If there was ever a popcorn bucket that I wanted, it would be this one, but I would like it even more if it was Prada.
Oh, okay.
Come on, Prada. Marketing, you know? Could have been a cute little designer thing.
I know, it'd be very expensive.
Yeah, definitely. And I don't think I'd want to put popcorn in it. Okay, ladies, it's Friday. It's Oscars weekend. It's time to go to the movies. Good Day LA Entertainment is sponsored by Yamava Resort and Casino. Colleen Hoover, she's a best-selling author, and her romance novel, Reminders of Him, is now a film in theaters. We've seen her books on the big screen before, though, with other films. And I asked her about the casting process for all of them. I should probably go.
You should probably stay.
Oh, my love. I held it together until that final act.
Oh, I love that.
With great characters, though, is the responsibility of finding the great cast, to bring them to life, to humanize them. And we saw it with It Ends With Us. We saw it with Regretting You. And now Reminders of Him. What is the common thread that you feel all the cast members share when they get parts in your stories?
Oh, that's a great question. I don't know. I think I write stories about life and try not to have, you know, like villains in them, and I think we can all relate to the imperfectness of every character. And I don't know, I think especially with Micah and Tyreek, they connected emotionally to these roles, and Ness was a big champion of both of them from the very beginning, and so we feel very fortunate that it worked out.
Reminders of him in theaters now, starring Tyreek Withers and Micah Monroe. And as I mentioned earlier, this weekend, the 98th Academy Awards takes place, and Academy Award costume designer Ruthie Carter is nominated again for her work on Sinners. My extended half-hour sit-down with Ruthie Carter will be streaming this weekend. It's called Behind the Seams.
Ooh, I like that. I wonder who came up with that.
Yes, Behind the Seams with Ruth E. Carter. You can download the Fox Local app and stream it at these times. It's today at 4 and again at 7. Tomorrow, which is Saturday, at 3 and an encore at 6 p.m. And Oscar Sunday with another showing at 3 p.m. and 1 p.m. if you want as well. So lots of opportunities to catch it on the Fox Local app. And our poll question of the day, last hour we asked you, how often do you clean your house? Let's just get everything in right now. 70% say once a week.
Define clean, though. Like, do you mean like the bathroom?
I say deep clean.
Deep
clean.
clean.
Deep clean.
Okay, deep clean. Deep
clean.
Okay.
Maybe once a week.
But you should be cleaning every day. Yeah.
Well, sure. You don't want to just like leave your plates
The first
down.
thing, I swear, the first thing I do when I get home, I Swiffer the floor. And yes, I have one of those robotic things, but they don't work as well. Yeah, I have a Roomba. Yeah. But I got to do it myself.
Is it therapeutic for you?
It just, yes, maybe it's psychological. It just makes me feel like I have control of my life when I don't.
A little Virgo.
So if I clean the floors, I feel empowered, okay?
Yeah.
All right, coming up, a mystery involving a missing Air Force general has the military denying that had anything to do with his work. That's because the general was closely linked to a UFO project. All right, and Coco is at the grand reopening of a Malibu favorite battered by both fires and mudslides.
Good morning. That's right. Today is the big day. Duke's Malibu will be reopening today to the public after a 14-month closure. We'll take you here live coming up.
Taking a look at our top stories this morning, 6 U.S. airmen are dead after the crash of a refueling aircraft in Iraq. This morning, Central Command confirmed the incident was not related to hostile or friendly fire. Another aircraft involved in the incident landed safely.
And we're learning more about the suspect in the attack on a synagogue in Michigan. Well, he was a naturalized citizen from Lebanon. He was killed in the attack. A possible motivation for the attack is earlier this month, several members of his family reportedly killed during an Israeli bombing in Lebanon.
And we're also learning more about the shooter who opened fire in a classroom at Virginia's Old Dominion University yesterday, killing an ROTC instructor. The attack is being investigated as an act of terrorism. Mohammed Belar Jalal was a former Army National Guard member who pleaded guilty in 2016 to attempting to aid the Islamic State extremist group and served time in prison. He was killed in this attack.
All right, 10:31. Let's talk the amazing heat wave. Yeah. I say amazing because I'm kind of looking forward to it. Just be safe out there.
I know you like the heat, but we do want to stress that heat-related illness is very possible, if not likely, as we move into the next several days. So the significant and prolonged heat wave is going to continue. And we are talking about dangerous record high temperatures, potentially 20, 30 degrees above average. And a lot of people are not used to that. A lot of people don't even have air conditioning if you live even closer to the coast, particularly. Mild, warm overnights also providing little relief. So really, we want you to try to get indoors, stay in some place where there's air conditioning. The offshore flow is with us, and it's not very strong, but it's weak enough to really warm up the atmosphere. As you can see, the winds aren't strong at all, but that offshore flow is going to continue. Yesterday was 92 downtown LA. That was a record high temperature, 12 days in a row for the month of March, and then before that, we had 8 days in a row in February. So we are really continuing this streak of above average high temperature days. And as I look ahead to the extended outlook, I don't see any real big changes in this weather pattern. 77 currently in downtown LA, and it's going to get to around 91. 94 in Corona for that high today. 94 in Woodland Hills, even right there at the beach, like Long Beach, 87. 77 in Huntington Beach, 86 in Santa Ana, and even hotter in Palm Springs today, 97 degrees. So I'll show you the extended outlook. We're going to show you one of the computer models out there in just a couple minutes. Back to you.
All right, Maria, thank you. Arraignment is set for today for Los Angeles City Councilman Curran Price. Prosecutors say Price voted on projects where his wife was subcontracted by a developer or directly contracted by the city. Her company allegedly received payments totaling more than $950,000. Price's attorney says there is no evidence that Price knew of the conflicts and claimed payments to his wife had no influence on his voting decisions.
Also today, jury deliberations begin in the social media addiction trial underway in downtown LA. It's a case accusing Meta and YouTube of harming a teenage user. The lawsuit also is accusing the tech companies of intentionally designing their platforms to be addictive for kids and claims the platforms were negligent and they failed to warn about potential dangers for minors.
A 25-year-old Costa Mesa man has died a month after being bitten by a rattlesnake. Julian Hernandez was bitten February 1st while hiking near Quail Hill in Irvine. He passed away on March 4th. A crew responded to the site and was treated for the bite, and he was hospitalized after that. His family is now seeking answers with an independent autopsy. A GoFundMe page to cover hospital and funeral expenses has raised more than $20,000. Experts remind hikers to stay alert as warmer weather brings out more snakes.
Oh, that is really scary. Yeah. And you know what? Just last night, my grandma's house, the home next door, the neighbor, there was a rattlesnake in the driveway. Oh. I didn't see it. There was a lot of commotion, and I heard about it, and they came and they, you know, took care of it.
Oh,
but it does happen, and you're right, the weather is connected to it. So the FBI is now involved in the search for a retired high-ranking U.S. Air Force Major General who vanished from his New Mexico home about 2 weeks ago. Authorities in Albuquerque have issued a silver alert for 68-year-old William Neal McCasland on February 27th after his wife reported him missing. McCasland held some of the most sensitive positions in the U.S. military, including heading the Air Force Research Laboratory at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, that's in Ohio. The lab has long been rumored to house extraterrestrial debris linked to Roswell, New Mexico, despite Air Force denials, though. Authorities say there is no evidence of foul play, and his family says he's not suffering from dementia or anything like that, but McClassland is reportedly an avid outdoorsman who left his home wearing hiking boots, carrying his wallet, and a handgun, but no phone. Meanwhile, the military has been trying hard to discredit links between the general's disappearance and his UFO work.
Businesses around the country are rounding up their calculations and rounding off business costs as the penny disappears. Production on the penny stopped last November due to the high cost of producing them. States are beginning to issue guidance for cash purchases, since giving exact change may not be possible without pennies. One method they're working with is symmetrical rounding. If final prices after taxes end in 1, 2, 6 or 7 cents, payments in cash round down. But final prices ending in 3, 4, 8 or 9 would be rounded up. The U.S. Treasury Department says it will keep about 114 billion pennies in circulation as long as it can, and pennies are still legal payment. Congress is considering a bill to nationalize the symmetrical rounding system, so be mindful of that when you pay with cash.
According to a new report, many independent restaurants say they've hit a price ceiling. They're now shifting away, basically, from raising prices. Instead, they're looking at ways to cut costs. The James Beard Foundation's annual industry report showing higher prices and delivery expansion are not as effective for restaurants operating on increasingly thin margins. Restaurants that raised prices more than 10% in 2025 were most likely to report lower profits. Labor remains another top concern. 49% report staffing shortages. Operators also report effects from GLP-1 weight loss drugs, with some diners eating and drinking less overall.
Certainly a lot less carbs, and the problem with that is that protein costs are so much higher. So carbs are where you make your money, right? You work in those empty carbs, and then people feel full, and then they feel as if they got the value at your restaurant. But when you can't be giving them those empty carbs anymore, they're saying, hey, why is my steak only 2.5 ounces?
Most operators say business conditions improved last year, and optimism about this year.
I noticed portion sizes are smaller, right? Yeah, because they're cutting costs.
I have noticed that too, yeah.
And it's because the labor costs are a lot here. The minimum wage going up, it's hard because they're in working in razor-thin margins. All right, it's been a long road back for one of Malibu's most iconic oceanfront restaurants. Speaking of restaurants.
Yeah, and speaking of portion sizes, I do hope, Coco, there at Duke's in Malibu, that giant mud pie still exists, because don't make that any smaller.
Yeah, don't skimp on that.
I will have to ask the general manager if that giant mud pie still exists, because he says for now they're going with a limited menu while they reopen, but you never know. Maybe that is one of the limited items that will be available starting today. Today is the big day for the reopening after a 14-month closure. So take a look here at this video so you can see what we're talking about. We're talking about the iconic Duke's Malibu, which is on PCH and has been here for 30 years come this summer. Duke survived the Palisades fire, suffering only smoke damage, but the mudslides that followed caused a lot of destruction, leading to layoffs for more than 100 employees while the restaurant worked on repairs. You might remember Duke's was supposed to reopen last summer, but the reopening was delayed. The restaurant underwent extensive repairs, including replacing plumbing, electrical, and kitchen equipment. We spoke with the general manager about the reopening today. What does it mean to you personally? I know it's been 14 months. I can imagine it's felt like 14 long months, too.
Yeah, I mean, it's bittersweet. Ultimately, I just try to focus on the silver linings, which are, the list is much longer than the other one. And so as we look forward now, we got a lot of our crew back, getting them back to work and seeing our community back. I mean, that part is so fulfilling. And the fact that the building is brand new and ready to go for another 30 years, what more could you ask for?
And the general manager says they're starting off by opening just Thursdays through Sundays with a limited menu, and then they will expand in the coming weeks. They're also planning to do a big 30th anniversary party this summer when they hit that 30-year mark. The restaurant will open at noon today. I'll send it back to you.
That's such great news, really, because it's been through so much there, Duke's Malibu, but it's such an iconic place. So good for them. Thank you so much, Coco.
And perfect weather, too. The outdoor seating is great.
Beautiful, beautiful views. All right, Chipotle is bringing back a delicious deal in honor of Friday the 13th. The fast food chain is offering a 1 hour only buy one, get one free sale to any customer with a tattoo. The offer window is valid today between 3 and 4 at participating locations. Customers can redeem the promo by showing up with a permanent, temporary, or even drawn-on tattoo. The deal saw massive success last year, leading Chipotle to some of its highest ever sales. All right, draw up a tattoo.
Draw a tattoo, grab that Sharpie. Okay, so today is Pi Day. No, Saturday. I take it back. Today's Friday the 13th. Yeah.
Right.
Today's Friday the 13th. Tomorrow the 14th, Pi Day. So 3.14, right? It's been a while since your last math class, I assume. Pi is the ratio between the circumference of a circle and its diameter. It has 62 trillion digits, with the first numbers being 3.14. And to make math fun, some of your favorite spots are offering up some specials. So Pi Day deals, dine in. Guests at Polly's Pies, for example, they will get a free slice of pie with any entree purchased. Both Round Table and Mountain Mike's Pizza offering a $3.14 BOGO-style promotion for reward members who order certain size pizzas. We had a little bit of that just a little bit ago. Mountain Mike's Pizza, it was very good. Hit the spot, right?
That's right.
All right, coming up, advice on guiding your teen, I assume that's what that wants to say, during these confusing times without losing your mind.
Oh, that's a tough one. And look at this. You'll often hear people say heat makes them cranky. Well, now science weighs in on whether hot weather makes people more aggressive.
right, 10:44. So we just stepped into a bit of a negative territory there. It was positive, barely positive.
Well, 1 point. That's all right.
But I mean, it's just kind of like teetering, waiting to see what happens. Obviously, the monitoring the global oil market, the prices, all of this connected to what's going on overseas. So waiting to see what happens next, really, and that'll determine what happens with the markets. New numbers out this morning show the U.S. economy was hobbled by last fall's 43-day government shutdown. The economy grew at an unexpected sluggish rate of 0.7%. That is a big downgrade of the Commerce Department's initial report. So the U.S. economy, the world's largest, has shown surprising resilience in the face of changing tariff policies, but experts are waiting to see how the war in Iran will affect the outlook.
Meanwhile, an inflation gauge closely monitored by the Federal Reserve moved higher in January, and the latest sign that prices were persistently elevated even before the Iran war caused spikes in oil and gas costs. Prices rose 2.8% in January compared with a year earlier. The Commerce Department said Friday slightly below December's increase. The inflation fighters at the Fed have kept their key interest rate elevated to slow borrowing, spending, and growth in an effort to cool inflation further. Fed policymakers meet next week and are widely expected to keep their rate unchanged, given that the conflict in the Middle East will raise inflation, at least in the short run.
Mortgage rates going up again as the war with Iran makes money markets nervous. Federal mortgage buyers Freddie Mac saying that the average 30-year benchmark mortgage rate rose to 6.1% after falling to 6%. Borrowing costs on 15-year fixed-rate mortgages often used to refinance homes also went up this week to 5.5%. Average mortgage rates are now back to where they were 5 weeks ago. That's due to market jitters over the war, of course, with Iran and higher oil prices.
As we head into another heat wave, we ask this question: does a scorching hot day affect your mood and how you behave around other people? Well, a new study examined those questions, and what it found was so-called heat stress had almost no impact on how generous, selfish, or fair people acted towards strangers, even when the participants were visibly frustrated and uncomfortable. This was an international study coordinated by university researchers in 5 different nations. The finding calls into question the conventional wisdom that higher temperatures lead to more conflict.
I think with the exception of maybe driving in traffic in a car without air conditioning, I think people just get really angry. You're right, in the car. So maybe that was left out of the study. But we are looking at some very hot temperatures, guys, so keep it cool, you know, especially if you have to be working outside under these weather conditions. This is one of our computer models, and I can show you how it's going to continue. High pressures really dominating our weather. We've got one that's right behind this one here for the weekend. This is going to strengthen and be even stronger as we get into next week. So believe it or not, if you think it was hot yesterday and it's going to be hot today, it's going to be even hotter next week as that high continues to dominate. Remember, drink a lot of water. It bears reminding we really underestimate the power of heat, and it is the leading cause of weather-related deaths combined with tornadoes, hurricanes, floods. There are more people who die from heat every year here in our country. So please take this seriously. Get in some air conditioning if you can, or maybe get inside the pool and relax. That's okay, but check on the elderly, please. Check on your friends, your pets, the kids, very important. Don't leave anyone ever in a car, please. 2 to 4 foot sets coming in surf height wise in Ventura and LA County beaches. Temperatures on the sand, not too bad, mid to upper 70s with a tiny bit of a sea breeze. 3 to 5 feet for Orange County, San Diego. So always swim or paddle out near a lifeguard if you are headed to the coast. Temperatures will drop slightly as we get to tomorrow. I'm seeing some high cloud cover offshore. That'll help filter out the sunshine a little bit, maybe give us a little bit of a sea breeze tomorrow. So we'll look for a slight cool down tomorrow, especially if you're at the coast. But look at how it ramps right back up, especially as we get to next week, even hotter for Tuesday, St. Patrick's Day, Wednesday into Thursday. Downtown LA, 91 today. Tomorrow, maybe into the 80s, but look how it climbs back up as we get to Monday, 90, 98 on St. Paddy's Day on Tuesday. Looking at the valleys Inland Empire, mid-90s. We'll get to the upper 90s as we get to next week. The mountains will likely be the coolest spot in terms of daytime highs, up at Big Bear Lake around 70, down to just the 60s tomorrow and Sunday, but this is still well above average. And then we'll get to near 80 as we get to midweek next week. High desert areas 84 today, getting to around 92, 93 next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, even hotter, potentially next week, Thursday. The Coachella Valley, 97 out there in Palm Springs, 102 by the time we get to St. Paddy's Day on Tuesday. All right, stay safe out there. Back to you.
Thank you, Maria. A new study reveals 1/3 of all women feel their gender has held them back. And that number was even higher among women in Gen Z. I'm about to sneeze. Oh, hold on. See you. Okay, I guess not. Half of women in that category say their gender has been a problem in their personal and/or professional lives. The Talker Research study gathered answers from thousands of women nationwide. 45% said their ideas are more likely to be dismissed than men's. 35% feel they're not taken as seriously as men. And more than 20% said that people in their life who expect them to come home and become a stay-at-home mom. So
sadly, this has been true for generations, right? And it still exists. Hopefully not for our daughters. But
I don't know.
Maybe things will get better.
Maybe.
At least a little better would help. All right, we hear a growing number of stories about the mental health of kids these days. We're talking about rising anxiety, loneliness, and depression. Many parents may worry about adding to the stress by being too strict or enforcing too many rules, but some psychologists say that may be exactly what a teenager needs: more structure as a stabilizing force in their lives. So here's a look at some simple advice doctors are offering. How about just stay calm, give them space, make sure to validate feelings, but hold a limit to what you'll allow, and try saying less rather than more. As we all know, lectures often backfire. Sometimes they just need to sit in their own feelings. I just don't say anything.
Because everything becomes a debate. You know,
or it escalates their emotion, or they feel it for longer. If you're trying to talk it through, just let them feel it, and then it'll pass, hopefully, right? If it's not too
Do you notice that if you are telling them something, they want to argue with you, but if it's any other adult, they will listen?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, think back when you were a kid, right? When you were a teenager, you did not want to hear it from your parents.
I feel like I didn't want to hear it from anyone, honestly. It was all equal, but yes. Often that's the case.
It's good to have a cool aunt, right? Or a cool uncle, or a coach that you like, or a mentor.
But it's annoying because they'll be like, oh, so-and-so said. I'm like, that's exactly what I was saying.
Everyone's doing it.
Right.
So I should too, right?
That's not a good enough reason.
That's not good logic.
It's not going to work. Okay, this story, our producer loved so much because it's so bizarre. So we saved it for today because we ran out of time yesterday. A medical miracle, all thanks to a pothole. How a rough ride, actually in an ambulance, brought a woman back to life after being declared brain dead. I'm serious.
This is wild.
We'll tell you more after the break. This is a miracle for a family in India. A woman who'd been declared brain dead was being transported home, and plans were being made for a funeral when suddenly she woke up. The 50-year-old miraculously came back to life when the ambulance violently hit a pothole. The husband told the Times of India that the jolt brought her back to life. She was sent home by doctors who told him she had no hope of survival, that she was brain dead and her heartbeat had faded. And was fading. After hitting that pothole, the ambulance went to a different hospital where they kept her for about 2 weeks. The doctor theorized that she was actually never really brain dead, but had a herniation at the brainstem, and the jolt relieved the pressure.
That is wild. Oh my gosh. Maybe see better doctors, right?
She's alive. Okay.
She's diagnosed brain dead?
We'll be back. GDLA Plus after the break. Oh my gosh, beach day. Look at that.
Beautiful.
Happy Friday. Happy Friday the 13th, right? We can say that.
Friday's
welcome. GDLA Plus. Come on. It's going to be great. We start with this. So we have Olivia Munn featured on the cover of Los Angeles Magazine's Women of LA issue. Amanda will be talking to her live coming up.
That's great, and comedian Greg Fitzsimmons is back. He's hosting his annual St. Patrick's Day show, and the lineup is locked and loaded. He'll join us to talk about that. But first, let's go to Maria and our weather. It's hot out there.
Yeah, this is really the story of the day. It was yesterday, certainly, but as we move forward into the coming days, and especially next week when we're expecting it to be actually even hotter, we really want you to stay heat safe. So I want to give you the forecast. Right now, it is warming up in Pasadena. It's already 86 degrees. It's 82 in downtown LA. Same for Woodland Hills in the Valley. 84 in San Bernardino. And looking at the coast even, Santa Monica, it's 83 degrees. Looking at 90 degrees already in Palm Springs to Big Bear's 61. I do think the mountains will probably have the coolest of the temperatures across SoCal. Even at the beach, it's going to be rather on the warm side. High pressure's in control of our weather, providing us with these dangerous temperatures nearing 90s and triple digits, 20 to 30 degrees even above average. So these heat alerts are going to continue with more record highs expected next week. In fact, as we take a look at next week, this other area of high pressure will move in to reinforce, of course, the offshore flow. And this one's even stronger, according to the computer models. And we could be looking at some of the hottest temperatures we've ever had in the month of March, ever since we started taking records back in 1877. So this is how hot we are expecting it to be. So heat advisories are in effect, at least until 8 p.m. tonight, but then another round will, I'm sure, return, if not this weekend, then certainly by next week. These very hot temperatures can cause heat-related illnesses, so we want you to be aware of these particular symptoms when we talk about heat stroke versus heat exhaustion. So when you have a throbbing headache, when there's no sweating despite the heat, compare that with heat exhaustion where you do sweat a lot. But when there's no sweating despite the heat, you get red, hot, dry skin. You are getting that rapid, strong pulse. These are all signs of heat stroke, which can be fatal. So you want to call 911 right away if you are experiencing or if you see someone experiencing those symptoms over the next several days. If you see these symptoms here on the other side, conversely, that's when you want to get them indoors right away, get some inside some air conditioning, give them some water, maybe a cold compress. But these particularly, call 911. Heat is the leading cause of weather-related deaths. So we want you to take this seriously, please. Make sure you check on our elderly, the kids, make sure the pets. Also, the ground and the pavement can get very hot, and that can burn their little paws. So drink a lot of water, especially if you're out and about. If you have to work under these weather conditions, make sure that you take numerous breaks. If you're headed to the beach to get some relief, good idea. Those temperatures in the water in the low mid 60s, so very comfortable, even on the sand, upper 70s. But we do have some higher surf rolling in, especially in Orange County. So 3 to 5 foot sets there. 2 to 4 feet elsewhere. That can give us the moderate to high rip current risks in the water. So always swim or paddle out near a lifeguard. That's always my advice to you. 78 along the coast today. A little bit of a cool down tomorrow, but it's not going to be cool per se. However, just a little bit of a sea breeze, but that high pressure will re-strengthen. Look at St. Patrick's Day on Tuesday. Low 80s for the beach. Downtown LA, 91 today. A little bit of a drop in those temperatures, but still well above average and certainly still pretty hot for the weekend. Look at Tuesday, St. Patrick's Day, 98 degrees. Could be the hottest for the month. 94 for the valleys and the Inland Empire, looking at nearly triple digits as we get to next week. The mountains, 70 degrees in Big Bear, near the lake. So if you can get to the lake, that's where it's going to be really nice and cool, refreshing. Lake Gregory, Lake Arrowhead, those would be places where we're going to look at those highs in the 60s tomorrow and this weekend. But even there, it's going to warm up to near 80 degrees by the time we get to next week, Tuesday and Wednesday. The high desert areas, 84 near the Antelope Valley. Look at 92 on Tuesday. This could be the earliest that we will see those temperatures in the 90s in the high desert in the Antelope Valley, to that 97 in Palm Springs, looking at 102 by the time we get to next week, Tuesday. So stay safe out there, guys. Back to you.
All right, we're going to keep talking about that heat. As Maria mentioned a moment ago, we are under a heat advisory. Mario has more on the heat wave.
Here in Pasadena, we're expecting a high in the mid-90s. It could be a record-breaking day for this time of year. Now, here at the Pasadena Rose Bowl Loop, you can see people are out here a little earlier than they're used to because it's going to be so hot today.
This weather was happening May, June weather, not so much in March. So this is horrible weather. So I'm wondering how the summer is going to be, and definitely not looking forward to it.
From the coast to the valleys and the IE, the temperatures began rising yesterday, making mid-March feel more like summer. An early season heat wave sending temperatures across the Southland 20 to 30 degrees above normal for this time of year. Ontario, Long Beach, and Burbank are just some of the spots that could break record highs in the low to mid-90s, and that's the type of heat people are trying to avoid.
It's going to be wicked hot later, so got to come in, get it done early before the heat sets in. Just beat the sun.
Drink a lot of water, stay in, get out early, do my run,
like about a half hour before the sun comes up, get back in, take a cold shower, sit in the dark and work, and then maybe go sit in the sun a little bit in the afternoon with a cold drink.
Ooh, just have to get out here a little bit early. After that, I go home and I'm just going to be in a nice air-conditioned house.
Much of LA County is under a heat advisory until 8 o'clock tonight.
Any hotter, I don't like it.
The weekend will see slightly cooler temperatures, and then more serious heat moves in again next week. We could see temperatures reaching above 100 degrees in the Southland. In Pasadena, I'm Mario Ramirez. Back to you.
Oh, definitely a hot one out there. Be careful, everyone. All right, Mayor Karen Bass and other mayors with their representatives gathering this morning to discuss ICE's impact on their communities. And Gigi Graciette is in downtown LA with what they're saying.
One of our goals today is to document everything so that this moment of history is never, well, first of all, that it stops and that it is never repeated again.
Mayors and representatives for cities across Los Angeles County came together today with immigrant advocates, faith leaders, and residents at the Japanese American Museum in downtown Los Angeles for a town hall meeting focusing on the impact federal immigration enforcement has had in their cities. The mayors of Pomona, San Fernando, Long Beach, and Los Angeles, to name just a few, comparing notes on how detaining and deporting people who lived in their cities has affected residents and the economy, and how just the presence of federal agents has sparked fear for so many. During the town hall, people who say they were personally impacted by immigration enforcement were also slated to share their stories.
Today, we're here to listen. We are here to bear witness. We are here as a coalition of cities from all across LA County to say that any law that requires intimidation in order to be successful should be no law at all, and that includes our immigration laws in America.
According to the nonpartisan think tank, the Pacific Research Institute, despite its sanctuary status, California recorded over 15,000